Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna put it on here for now. Oh, whoa. Hey, chat, disappear. Okay. So, 4 viewers. Okay, that's better than none.
I just joined in there to make sure.
All right.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. 2.
Okay.
Hello, Tank Engine Jr. Okay. I'm going to,
Wait, I need to be in that.
I'm trying to make sure everything is working. This is, you know.
Also,
Yes,
it's gonna be weird because I gotta, like, go between, like, tabs.
What do you mean?
I can't watch the stream and the video at the same time without having them both.
You don't need to watch the stream. I have the chat up.
I need to see the chat, dude, in case they ask me something.
Yeah, no, I have the chat open as well, but like, you know.
I know.
What we could also do is you have it in another tab and have the stream on mute.
Yeah.
That's what I have, and the other one I just have just being able to, like, look at the chat.
Here, Logan, this might help you out. This might be very, very good for you. You can literally pop out the chat.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so you can literally like put it on the left of your screen while on the right of your screen you have to watch together. So yeah. Oh, hello everyone! Northwestern Railway Studios. It's me, Kenzie, Supermoto Cats, and Carolina Remoli. Sorry, I just had a stroke. Hello. So I'm just gonna give it some time. I'm gonna go make some more announcements on places like Twitter. I'm gonna make a post here. Okay. Cool. All right. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going over basically everything Satirical Tales that ever happened, apart from things that are happening in the future, which will be explained a little better, I suppose. Just call me Kenzie. Okay, fair enough. So, all right. The main plan is basically I'm gonna talk a little bit about the series, about how it got created, and then we're gonna watch the series, do commentary, Q&A. Anyone that has questions, I'll show behind the scenes stuff at the end or during the episodes. But we have like mainly me and Riley have shit to say. Logan doesn't actually have much to say about the series.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we should introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm like the main guy who made the series. And like, yeah, voice Thomas, Edwin, and Henry. Stop him out. That's basically what I do. Riley.
I'm Riley, red and blue scooter. I voice that random guard that almost got fucking killed. Albert and the new Thomas in the end of episode 5.
All right. He's also one of the writers for the series.
I've written a few shorts. I have quite a bit to talk about there.
Yeah. And Logan.
Hi, I'm Sans the Skeleton.
Oh no.
All right.
Not again. But,
I voiced James, Gordon, Marklin, and the narrator mostly.
And Edward, once upon a time.
And once upon a time.
In one episode, yeah.
Yeah. Edward had 3 voices in the entire series, basically.
Yeah, so far. Yeah.
So parents different voice.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just real quick talk about the creation of Satirical Tales. Try not to make it last too long. Ages ago, I had first made this fucking dumb like Lego video called like Thomas and the Half-Arsed Parody. It was really shitty. It was like filmed like at really shit shit lighting. The visuals are absolute ass. The video is unlisted now. You can't find it anywhere, but it wasn't funny really. But that was kind of the start for Satirical Tales because it was a parody series. Eventually, it went on to become this other series where it was like a wooden railway thing called Thomas's Product Mishaps. I wrote like 1 episode for it. 1 episode was ever released, but 2 episodes were technically made. The first one was entirely unscripted, and the second one was scripted. But the first one is still up on my channel somewhere. Oh, cool. We have 8 viewers now. But basically, after that, it just kind of, died. I didn't really like doing it that way. And then I found this thing called Thomas Abridged on some fan fiction website, and I was like, hey, this thing's pretty good. And I decided, fuck it, I'm going to adapt it and make it my own series. After making, after writing all the scripts, into, a Word doc somewhere, I realized how shitty it was because it was literally just, one adaptation. At one point, it was literally called Thomas's Product Mishaps Episode 1. I guess now I could probably turn on visuals, right? Here, hold on. Because I do actually have some stuff on this. Well, let me hide these because these are just there because I was testing shit out. If we go to pre-STONWR right here, we have this was the old Knapford set that was made for the video I was talking about. That was the logo. Let's see. That was the Tidmouth set that was actually made. There was a Knapford set at one point, which was this. And these were the only 2 sets ever made for the entire series. I only ever made 2 sets because, I tried to film shit, but it just never ended up going anywhere, because, I spent way more time than I should have just filming. You can, if you look around at the models, you can also see that they're really old. They're the fucking ones that Logan had from his childhood. So, they're all beaten to a fucking pulp. Toby doesn't have eyes.
No, Toby really doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, what the fuck did you do to him?
Wear and tear.
Yeah, definitely. Jesus Christ.
And
yeah. And eventually, I was like, fuck it, this whole thing's shit. And I threw it all out the fucking window. And I wanted to write my own actual, original series. And, there was at one point stuff for it, which is what this is. You can pause the stream, I guess. There's all this shit. There's some other stuff. We have, some basic episode plot concepts. But, ultimately that never happened. And, it took a bunch of renditions, and eventually it became what it's known as today, Satirical Tales of the Northwestern Railway. This was an early logo that was never actually used for the series. It was at one point called Cynical Tales of the NWR, which made literally no sense. At another time it was called Sardonic, which is just dark humor. But, ultimately it just never happened like that. And, yeah. So I guess that's really all there is for that. Do you guys have anything you'd want to, add?
I should be good.
Alright. Riley, you weren't really there for the first creation of it, but yeah.
Yeah, might as well get the show on the road.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure I got all my notes because I actually took fucking notes last night. Yeah.
I got a few.
Yeah.
Just my memory.
Yeah. So I guess I should start off with the intro. I guess that's a good place to start, I suppose. I'm just gonna let it play for now. If you guys want to mute it, you can. But the intro is literally just an orchestral version of the song "Ready to Die" by Andrew WK. The only reason it fucking exists is because of some pony video that was made ages ago, called Cupcakes, where Pinky kills Rainbow Dash to make cupcakes basically. And somebody was like, hey, I'm going to turn it into a dumb music video. And I found that song, and the whole fandom was like, hey, this is good. And then they started making different versions of Ready to Die. So the only... What?
I'm just going to say this real quick to hold that thought. Northwestern Wind Railway Studios, so if I may ask, will the series be canceled or not? No, it's getting a revamp.
Yeah. I mean, Satirical Tales of the Northwestern Railway is more or less dead, but it's not it's being changed to the other universe, Satirical Tales of STONWR.
Yeah, it's going to be the same series, but in trains and improved in some regard.
Yeah. So basically, the only like I was saying, the only reason that the intro for this series exists is because of a pony video. So yeah, I just thought that might be interesting to point out. I found the song in like I think 2015, and I was like, hey, I want to use this in a series. Well,
That sounds about right.
yeah, about 3 years later, I fucking made Satirical Tales, and yeah. So I guess is it really necessary to show the intro? We're gonna see the intro in episode 1.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
All right. I'm gonna show the promo. I'm just gonna point some shit out.
Northwestern Railway. Peaceful, right?
The actual lines here. Hold on. Yeah. So. Oh shit. Sorry. But yeah, no, Logan. How many times did we do that scream? Do you remember?
Oh, jeez. I think we did that like 10 different times at
If
least.
that's the case, then like there's improvement there because I remember I was on call with you guys when you were doing the lines for episode 4, and it didn't really take that long to do screaming lines, and there's like a huge chunk that involved purely of screaming.
Yeah, because I needed like screaming lines when James was flying down the main line, but yeah.
Yeah.
I actually want to point something out here. If I play it from here, I want you guys to watch James's Steam wish. That right there is fucked up in the actual episode, but I got it right in both the trailer and the intro. You'll see it later, it gets all choppy, but like I somehow fucked it up. I don't know how. I just fucked it up. But yeah.
Coming this summer is the Northwestern Railway, like you've never seen it before. And maybe you have seen it like this before. I don't really know. Based off the Railway series comes an original.
Really overdone, by the way.
Everyone already knows me. I'm the really
And you still always had issues with volume.
Yeah, I still now have issues with volume. Like, I don't know how the fuck to balance out audio levels. Yeah, but, as heard there, I don't know if you guys heard it, but Annie and Clarabelle used to have pitch-shifted voices, but I originally just changed it to sounding like a posh piece of shit. But even then, that sounds like ass. So, that's why they've only ever had, like, in total, both characters have had, like, 5 lines in the entire series. Like, even in the future episodes, they weren't supposed to have that many lines. So, Annie and Clarabelle...
Right.
Yeah, Annie and Clarabelle were supposed to be a bit more developed, I guess, but, like, just never could fucking happen. There was the cast was already too cluttered. So, yeah. I guess on to episode 1. I want to check the
This
chat
is
real
a
quick.
parody of Thomas the Tank Engine. I do not own the rights to Thomas, nor do I know anyone, and neither am I
That's not gonna
affiliated
work,
with
hold on.
it. This is entirely fan-based. There's some swearing here and there. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
I found this song that's playing here, like, on SoundCloud ages ago. And I was like, hey, this would be pretty damn cool. Also, I'd like to point out that picture of Pinky was intentionally included just to piss some people off. Because I know...
You can't mention My Little Pony and the Thomas fandom without getting lynched one way or another.
Yeah. There's actually some stuff to talk about. Actually, hold on.
Alright, you little shit. Time to read your bedtime story.
I hate how awkward the first live action scene was. It was just like, what are we doing? No one knew. Yeah. I do actually have a
No
blooper.
one even knows who we are.
Yeah, I do actually have a blooper that Logan did.
I did not hit her. I did not. I did not.
He fucking walked in and recited Tommy Wiseau from The Room, and I still fucking have it. It's the first blooper or outtake that was ever saved. So there's not actually that many. There's like 3, and one that'll be explained later in episode 2 or 3. So yeah. Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. Anyways, continuing on, I suppose. I also look like absolute shit.
What? You heard me. Bed. Time. Story. Thomas the Tank Engine. You know, the show we used to watch when we were kids.
I still
Okay. Let's get this show on the road.
Originally, for that scene, we were trying to make it look like my arm was just extending.
It just didn't stop.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't me just stretching. I was sitting there kind of thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is all intentional, but at one point, I'll talk about it in a bit, it all led up to this grand conclusion, and yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the shorts.
Yeah. I do want to point something out about that. The Logan, like the book being thrown at him and Logan catching it, that was improvised during filming. That was just an idea Logan had. Same thing with the arm stretching, because I think in the script I said like Logan hushes Devin, but like Logan was sitting down, he was like, how the fuck, whatever, comically long arm, and it's just that was how that worked. But I wanna point something out. If you, let's see, you're the guy in bed. Yeah, I'm the guy in bed. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna move this over to my right monitor real quick. Anyways, so this this is misspelled right here. Prologue. It's spelled proluge. I have only now caught this. Yeah, no. The thing is, in like when I like literally like 5 minutes before the episode went up, somebody like I put a post on Twitter. It was like episode 1 prologue coming out. Prologue was misspelled, and I didn't find out like until 5 minutes before the episode went up. So I had to go through it and like re-edit everything. There's actually 2 fucking typos here. I didn't write satirical, I wrote satirical.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's Satirical Tales of the NWR, Proluge. So, you know, this was something that I literally just threw together in Photoshop. I took out like the original front cover of my Railway series book. Like not took it out, but like edited it to look like that was the first page. This was originally how every single episode would open. It would open with Logan opening the book, and it would zoom in on one of the pictures. But ultimately, the effect looks like shit, as you can see if I just play it. Like, it cuts abruptly. So,
It
yeah.
could have been worse, at least.
Yeah, but like, literally 5 minutes before the episode went up, somebody was like, you misspelled prologue, and I was like, oh, fuck. So, I ended up, like, fixing it, like, last minute, but I didn't fix that one, apparently, so, yeah. Should I explain the thing about how, like, Devin and, you know, Biscuits, about how, like, they were two, like, in this series, like, they were separate entities? Or should I do that later?
Oh, no.
Alright, you know, actually, I could probably explain it during the 1 year anniversary short, because
Yeah,
that one,
that's probably
yeah.
better. I just didn't know if you're including that, but yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna, so yeah. Actually, in the intro, if you look back on it, I breathe so much. You literally just hear, like... Because, like, I'm sitting behind the camera while recording Logan do shit, and it's just, like... Just fucking reaching into the fucking... reaching into the screen, man.
Void.
Yeah.
James.
I remember Logan had to help me with this shot, because I couldn't fucking... Like, that's an actual camera pan. The camera's actually lowering there. So... Yeah, Henry's tunnel set that looks like shit. Yeah, there's a steam weesh. Told you I did it right in the fucking intro as well. That shot of the signal falling over, actually, I'm not gonna explain it, obviously, because it's, you know, it's a bit of an extensive thing, but that's actually an important shot later in the series, but, you know. I'd also like to point out that shot right there, where it pulls back, is the most painful thing I've ever had to film, because originally, it actually was a manual zoom out, like, I literally, like, slid the camera slider back as Thomas pulled in. And it was the worst thing ever, because in the same shot, you have to pan the camera up to the sky to look at the episode title. So, despite the fact that that is the hardest shot I've ever had to film, I have filmed it, 3 different times, because, you know, first time was with this Knapford, second time was with another Knapford, and the third time was at Tidmouth in episode 4. So basically it was just like this extensive fucking thing of trying to, you know, make it look good. And I think if you even look on the rails, you can see a rock. Because
hold on. You know that thought?
Yeah.
The famous Hector will Markland be in the new series? Yes.
yes, he will. He was actually seen in episode 5 shunting some trucks past Thomas before, Thomas says like, "What a weird dream."
Yeah.
Yeah. But, if you look right in front of the wheel here, you can actually see a little rock. That's actually how
What a
Thomas
weird
was.
dream.
There was a little rock here, and that's like Thomas would literally roll past the camera every single time. So I had to find some way to stop it. And I was just like, "Fuck it, just throw a rock on the rails." So,
It'll work.
yeah. And now it's time for exposition, because every series needs it.
Just off the English mainland near Barrow and Furness, located in the Irish Sea, is an island. This island is none other than the island of Sodor, home to the wondrous Northwestern Railway. This honestly sounds like a shithole. The Northwestern Railway is not like any other. Almost the whole line is run by steam engines. In case you somehow don't know,
Fun fact, this was the last shot filmed for episode 1.
long gone era.
Just like the panning shot in the
However,
mainland.
The island of Sodor will always be home to all types of steam engines. In fact, I think I hear one of those engines coming right now. This is Thomas the...
Whoa, hey.
What?
You don't gotta explain who I am.
Why not?
Because everyone already knows who I am. Like, yeah, thanks for the introduction, but everyone already knows me.
Markland.
I'm the really useful engine, you know?
As you...
But yeah, no, I actually, the reason why, like, okay, basically, whenever I think of, like, a Thomas series, everyone's always like, ah, yes, Thomas and Gordon is the first story. And that always, like, sort of subtly annoyed me, because every time somebody tried to do their own take or original take on Sodor, they would always, start with the first episode. And so I was like, fuck it, everyone knows who Thomas is. Literally everyone. If you're in the fandom, hell, even if you're out of the fandom, you know who Thomas is. So, like, the whole, Thomas was a tank engine who lived at the big station. Like, that wasn't even needed, but people did it regardless. So, literally, like, that's why I was so, like, bent on Thomas just interrupting the narrator before he could even say anything. It was because it was supposed to be him just being like, shut the fuck up, everyone already knows me. But it just made him sound a lot more arrogant. I guess at one point that was just like, fuck it, that's his personality. He's egotistical. So, yeah. Let me fix that a little.
This engine is extremely full of himself. His name is Thomas. He's the #1 engine on this railway.
No.
Is this based off of Parable?
Since he doesn't want to be
What?
How the narrator starts shit talking Tom, is that based off Parable?
I mean, I had played Stanley Parable at the time, and I guess that's kind of where I got, the inspiration for the narrator to kind of, like, banter back and forth with the engines a lot. From just literally, like, because I was really interested in the Stanley Parable at one point, but, like, I guess I fell out of it. But, like, ever since I thought of fourth wall breaking, I always was like, definitely, they're humans. They're both people. They both exist. They're both living entities. They're going to have, like, conversations or even arguments. So, Stanley Parable really, heavily weighed in on that, too. So, yeah, I guess Stanley Parable did definitely, have a huge inspiration on how the narrator acted in Satirical Tales.
Yeah, also, I just want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
A few parts we might want to just, keep the episode going, because if we keep pausing, we're going to be here all day.
Yeah, alright.
Deuced. Let's just move on to someone.
Oh, yeah,
who
also,
won't
in reference to
interrupt
Markland,
me
he's
while
been in
I
every
speak.
single episode
Wait, what?
since the first episode.
No, I want to be in the spotlight.
Too bad. This is Knapford.
This shot is incredibly
biggest
overexposed,
station
by the
on
way.
Island of Sodor. This was supposed to be the
Like,
design
right
of
here.
Vickerstown,
I
but
could not
someone
fix that for the life of
national
me.
addressing
Looks like
accepted
shit.
to. So now Knapford wins the biggest station award.
Also,
Now,
Knapford is
this
spelled with
smart
an
little
N
tender
there.
Here is named Edward. He mostly does a lot
Why?
of the work that the other
Like, it was like supposed to be like, nobody cares about this station.
It's
Here's your
long
big
way.
dick
Oh.
award.
engines. Or at least he tries to.
Oh, hey, it's Mr. Leftover Work.
Hello, Henry. How are you?
As you can see, Logan voiced
Hi,
Edward.
Logan.
Yeah.
Especially considering I'm doing work that's actually important.
I'm actually gonna lower the volume here real quick. But I think like Logan voiced like literally like 3/4 of the cast at one
This
point.
is Henry.
Because I was just
Yeah, you
like,
only voiced Thomas.
Like the original cut, yeah.
yeah, I only voiced Thomas and Henry. That was it at one point because Topham didn't
Yeah.
exist, and I ended up just like yoinking Edward because I felt like it balanced the cast out a bit more.
And apparently can break the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Like Thomas.
Yeah, except I do it tastefully.
Thomas is just a lesser version of me.
I do actually. I'm gonna pause real quick just because like this is actually something I want to talk about. This is something I really want to explain. The tracking shots in the series were always like they were done really weirdly at one point. This is what the tracking shot setup looked like. It looked just like this. It was literally a camera mounted on two wooden railway conflats, while I had like another set of tracks of just like, you know, a basic mainline background. And you know, that's what it looked like on the actual screen. You know, also same thing with Henry that was seen earlier. This is just the base. It was literally two trucks just taped together. That's all it was. There's a video somewhere of me using it. This is literally what it looks like on the outside. It's really shitty. You know, the camera ends up stopping at one point, probably because of like buffers or something. I don't remember exactly how I did it. But you know, that's how that all looks. So anyways, we can continue the episode now. That did not work.
Yeah.
Were there different? Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Pause that again.
Yeah.
Were there different plans for episode 5? Yes, there was actually an entire episode. It just didn't. What you saw of the episode in episode 5 was what originally was made for the actual episode, but it just was never completed. Because then we were like, okay, we're gonna make a goodbye video instead, and then at one point it was okay, we're gonna combine the two and almost rip off Doki Doki Literature
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah, no. The thing is about the series is that there was plans to go all the way to a literal like climactic series finale that just
Yeah, you had the
never
whole thing
happened.
written out.
Yeah, there was a whole plan out page that was never actually used all the way through, but like literally episodes 4, 5, 6, and 7 were all filmed during the same sessions. There's footage out there of episode 6 and 7 that will never be seen. Like, I mean, like, I'd have to get so many voice actors together, and like, I even like shortly before Christmas break, or before the whole COPPA thing blew up, I was writing episode 8, which was gonna be the Toby episode, but you know that never ended up happening because, you know, the COPPA regulations blew up. Everyone realized how fucked the Thomas fandom would be, and we were just like, yeah, fuck. Also, hello, Oreo Pause! Alright, anyways, continuing.
Well, he's just.
This is Topham Manor or something.
That's wrong too. Edward pulls the trains that you don't have the time for, and sometimes he pulls passenger trains.
You can see the TV there.
And now for the fourth engine.
There's actually a picture of that somewhere. I'll pull it up.
Coming through.
This is Gordon, who apparently uses CGI quotes, even though this entire series mocks the classic series. I mean, he's the fastest engine on all the island, hence why
I've
he's
seen
taken
there.
the role of being the express engine.
Hello, Henry. Oh, shut up.
However, this can go to his smoke box real fast.
Gordon's coach is actually Derail here.
Hello, Edward.
Good afternoon, Gordon. You're in a good mood.
Well, of course I'm in a good mood. I'm 10 minutes early. Not as good as when I was 15 minutes early, but still an achievement nonetheless.
Right.
Edward and Gordon weren't exactly close.
I don't have a picture of it, but I know there used to be a picture of like how I did the Knapford
Through this,
interior.
They had formed some sort of unspoken bond.
Edward and Gordon were supposed to have a closer relationship, but it just never ended up happening.
Oh no, he's back.
James is the fifth engine on the island, just coming back from the works after, well,
As you'll see here real quick, Steam will be fucked. It's all like solid and like really shittily done.
yep.
Logan, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you remember why the fuck James has a New York accent? I don't. All I remember is that I was like, I tried to get you to do a Scouse accent, and you were like, I can't do that, but I can do this, and you did a Brooklyn accent, and I was like, hey.
I think it was specifically because we were watching that one like Yu-Gi-Oh parody at some point, and Joey Wheeler was just on my mind.
I feel like, you know, that probably would be what it was. I mean, like, it was, like, originally, you know, James was supposed to talk all Scouse like this, but, like, it just never happened. And,
Yeah,
you know, Logan...
something I can't really do.
Yeah, so Logan ended up doing...
The closest mine comes out to is just very certain words from Michelangelos.
Yeah. Why can't Percy do it? He likes putting shucks. It's like...
Exactly.
Yeah. But, it just came out of nowhere. It was just like, you know what, sure, Brooklyn accent, why the fuck not? So, yeah. Oh, let's see, is there anything else?
Yeah, but so I'll just mention two things. One, whatever the reason for James to get the New York, Brooklyn, whatever accent, it almost I don't know if others feel this way, but it's almost preferable because I don't know, something about me is that when people take different approaches to character voices in Thomas that isn't just trying to rip off Scouse or Yorkshire, whatever kind of voice, all right, it's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like Toby being a redneck, because that's been done into the fucking ground. But yeah, and another thing, Northwestern One Railway Studios. You know that COPPA has changed some regulations.
The regulations have changed, but the matter of the fact is, if you have toys in your video, you are at danger of like a $42,000 fine. So I decided switching over to trains would probably be the best idea. I'm still gonna keep it as age restricted regardless because I just wanted to keep safe. Safe. Yeah.
Double the security.
Yeah, and on top of that, when you move it to trains, there's loads of more possibilities, loads of more crashes that would be a bitch to film with Wooden Railway is
Also much easier to move everything all at once.
Yeah, it would still be hard to film crashes in Tane sometimes, but it's a cakewalk in comparison to Wooden Railway.
Yeah, and another thing about like the filming, like if you look at the episodes, you'll notice that they're like over time, I less and less use like alternate shots. You always see the characters from one angle. You will always see them facing like you will always be looking at them from this angle or like left to right. There's never a shot where you see it from the other side because in order to do that, I would literally need to build a mirror version of the set. Because if as I explained,
it was a very cartoon-esque or a movie shot kind of thing.
Yeah, like it was always forced to like either left or right. Like there was never a there are some shots in episode 1, like if I go back to like when Henry's like mumbling at the narrator, you can actually see the TV in the background. That is my TV. Like I can't do shots like that because you will see now you will see my bed, the studio lamps, the whole like little shelf I have, my fan, you will see everything in the background. And it's like, is it really worth it? No.
Yeah, because now the table's in the corner of the room, so you really can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I am forced to a specific angle of what I can film with, and having to find ways to get around it. So yeah, but with Tane, literally all I need to do is just add a couple base plates, add some hills, texture them with the color green. That's it. It's not anything big or difficult to do. It's really simple. So, yeah. That's going to be a little bit.
Quite an attractive color if I do say so myself.
Actually, red is often used to signify something negative.
This show fell so flat.
To green, which means good. So if anything, people would stay away from you.
Right. James is a mixed traffic engine. He is like Edward except unemployed. James's first job almost killed him, so he's basically homeless. The only reason James was in the works is because of the free healthcare for engines on the island.
That was actually supposed to be a bigger plot point in the series, healthcare. Also, Thomas Jitter's here.
I just wanted to bask in glory. You had to take that away from me.
No, that wasn't foreshadowing, I promise. No, literally,
We'll just say it is.
It's foreshadowing, sure. No, but what actually happened?
We planned this.
Yeah, totally. We planned COPPA to take over take over YouTube and destroy it. We totally planned that. We knew from the get-go.
Actually,
Yeah, no, one of the things about it is that it's that happened because I didn't fully export the episode before, I actually uploaded it. Also, it's actually, I was really proud of the acting here. I don't know why, it was just Thomas went from pissed to depressed to concerned. Yeah, I also wanna. If you go back earlier, I'm not gonna look at it again. But if you go back earlier, you can hear,
Insane.
like
You're
the
like
mic
Boss
quality
Yost,
changes
Panda Psycho. Piece of shit.
because you know, if I change it from this is raw audio, this is actual audio.
What the hell even was that?
So like, you know, the microphone can change quality, and like for the entirety of episode 1, I was using raw audio, which is a lot more sensitive. And this is like what like the filtered audio sounds like for the rest of the series.
I'm gonna head to bed. I got work from like 10 to 7 tomorrow. You're welcome for the reading, by the way.
Those work hours were accurate, actually. 10 to 7.
Yep.
That's actually what he had to work.
Every single day, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, poor fucking soul. Okay, now, this is the only short I have ever written. All the other shorts that ever came out, or the only other 2 that came out, were written by Riley. So, yeah. There's actually 3 things to say about this video. This was nothing more than an excuse for me to film a trains video. That's the only reason this existed. Also because I wanted to introduce how I want to do shorts.
That is what I tend to do.
But you know, like, it was also to show off like the route I made, which honestly looks like shit now when I look at other shit I've made.
Hey Thomas, sup? Is it just me or are things different? How's that? I don't know, things are more...
Season 1 new Shane.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
James is gonna fucking die.
James is going tender first. This is the end.
Like with a Z. Yep. Who the fuck came up with that? That is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Hey, at least it isn't cool with a K.
But things are so
Bashing
much
the whole
cooler.
trains with a Z
Like the
thing
cool
is
kids club.
really dumb. KK gay joke is arguably the worst thing I've ever written. That is exactly what I wrote in my notes. It is the worst thing.
Hey, that's fucking racist.
Percy being there, by the way, was because there was no other character. Like, I had used
Really?
James, I had used Gordon. I didn't want to use Edward, because Edward wouldn't have said, hey, that's fucking racist. He would have been like, you know, oh, don't say something like that. That's quite rude. That's, you know, like, be careful who you say that
You
around.
could have had Birdie.
Birdie didn't, there was no good Birdie model at the time.
That's fair.
Alright, episode 2. Right, now this is actually, fuck, I'll just play it. Yeah.
The railways are an entirely fan-made series. I do not own the
Speaking
rights
of
to,
Birdie.
though I know anyone affiliated with Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. No profit will
Speaking
be
of
made from
Birdie,
this video.
let's watch him
This video also isn't meant
get
for young
fucking
viewers.
sniped.
Yeah, get fucking eaten. Yeah. But,
I have a few things to say on this one.
hell yeah. The video here that I'm editing is actually a real video that never came out. It was me playing Gmod with a couple friends. And I was also on call with Riley. That's on Skype, you know, that's his old profile picture, but like,
Yeah, I used to be E2s and Class 28s in the fandom before I left because honestly I hated it there.
yeah. I mean, there's also the whole like it was done so that way he could be like, you know, kind of like, you know, he is a canon voice actor now. So, yeah. But like, I forgot to mention something about episode 1. Originally at the ending, it was supposed to have Henry there, but Henry just never got put in the scene. It would have made the character scene too cluttered. So I just ended up cutting it ultimately. This whole thing of Logan pulling...
No. Another thing that will add up to something that was never planned, but we came to a grand conclusion.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it soon.
Yeah, what I like is that every time something weird like that happens, it was improvised. That never was written in the script. Logan pulling the chair to butt fuck nowhere. Like, it was just literally, Logan sits down. And, like, I was like, wait, hold on a minute. Where did the chair come from? Like, and Logan's like, I'll pull it out of my robe. It's like, fuck it, I guess. I mean, if that's what you want to do, man. Like, yeah, so. Also, by the way, when I shake my head when I take off the headset, that is actually something I do. That is not like just some dumb joke. That was like actually what I do when I take off a headset. It looks so dumb, but yeah.
One day, Thomas was feeling full of himself, as per usual.
Where is Henry?
Off to a great start.
Yeah, by the way, I actually really hate how the live action scene was filmed there because like the exposure was so shit. My shirt was like literally pixels. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this slow fuck is probably taking a sweet ass time.
Hey, keep it PG.
Oh, shut up. I'm here. Sorry. Where the fuck have you been? Stuck in a signal. wouldn't give me a clear for the longest time.
That line is actually some idea I had a while ago that the signals were gonna be like antagonists. Like they were gonna work against the engines.
Wait, you... Shit.
So,
Thomas
yeah.
was so anxious about being late that he started off.
By the way, the guard's name, he actually does have a name. His name is Harry. Like literally like that was his name. He was supposed to appear in episode 5, but like it just never happened.
We've gotten away from that
So.
pesky narrator. Thomas, you've forgotten our god. I've forgotten our... What? Our god. Our god? Our god. Our god as when we have a god and we share that said god? Thomas, you utter imbecile. Our god.
Posh accents are always fun to fuck around with.
Sorry, her incredibly posh accents make it difficult to determine what you're saying.
Ellsworth Viaduct does not look like a viaduct.
We're fine without her. You'll see. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit boring without the narrator. There's no one to yell. Whoa, whoa, whoa!
That red signal was actually caused by the narrator. That was like actually done intentionally as a thing. Like he can manipulate the universe. He just doesn't. It never gets to be shown off.
I know. It's the guard of the good god. Just shut up already.
Alright, listen, Thomas. It's clear you don't like me, but that doesn't mean you can go and mess up the story like that.
Yes, you know what? You're right. This island is so restricted. Sure, STONWR is a large island. I have the whole branch line to myself. Why can't I just do what I want?
This line was written last
You wanna
minute.
go around the world or something?
Bashing Mattel.
The bashing Mattel line.
I mean,
It was like literally making fun of people who were making fun of the show.
Alright. Fine.
Like it was.
Same
It was.
time making fun of the show.
Yeah, it was just Inception. Just like really like making fun of the people who make fun of the show. It's like just get over it. Like come on.
Oh yeah, so I have a few things to talk about here.
With the guards lines.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You want me to pause it or?
I'll pause it.
All right, cool.
I mean, I
My
could
turn.
Yeah.
your guard.
I'm taking the wheel this time.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Right.
so how long do you think it'll be before you run into the god? Thomas? What? I see someone on the bridge!
Thomas, look out!
Oh god, I didn't literally mean run into him. It was a figure
Hold
of
on.
speech.
I'll pause in a bit.
Yeah.
You stupid fucking engine!
Holy shit. You're alive.
You're gonna fucking kill me!
Well, I fucking didn't, so get fucked.
Jesus Christ. Even in a
Hold
state
on.
where you nearly kill someone, you're still a self-centered asshole.
Oh, shut the fuck up. He'll be fine.
Alright, so this was basically my first look at the series. Devin DM'd me on Twitter and he was like, okay, can you do lines real quick? And I was like, oh yeah, for what? Satirical Tales. I was like, oh, I've heard of that. You've talked about that a few times. I didn't actually see the prologue at the time. Didn't actually see anything from the series. When he sent me the script, he sent me like the small bit of the script that was, the rest of it I think was restricted for me not to see. I was like, all right, this sounds promising. So, yeah, this was literally my first exposure to the series. Anyway, for the actual lines themselves, it was I had to do like this deep kind of British accent just in case that if I were to voice another character in the future, which I do, Albert, it wouldn't sound exactly the same to the guard. So I tried my best. It didn't really pay off, but whatever. As for the lines themselves, when the guard is knocked off the bridge, I didn't know what to really do there. So it resulted to me, because I recorded these lines on 2 different devices. The speaking lines were on a microphone hooked to my computer. The other one of the guard falling was recorded with my phone and earbuds placed on the coffee table. What I did was I literally made myself fall off the side of the couch onto the couch, and that was the scream I made when I fell. I literally had to make myself fall for that line. Otherwise, it would have just sounded me just half-assedly screaming. Another thing is that when the guard submerges from the water, the line was him gasping. And then I'm coughing as if I have water in my lungs because I, was underwater. That was not intentional. I gasped and I started choking on my own air. and it sounded perfectly fine because he just switched
Wow.
from water, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna keep that. And then Devin didn't see anything wrong with it, so I was like, all right, that was totally intentional. So I basically lied through my fucking teeth. Yeah, the one thing I hate is the line, "You could have fucking killed me," because I sound like I'm whisper shouting. Truth is, I basically was. I didn't actually know. I thought I was yelling when I recorded it, and when I listened to it in the episode, it was whisper shouting, and well, whatever. Anyway, so that's all I got to say for this scene.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's better than like
Sure enough.
what the fuck? Like at least like you actually like are talking clearly.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
With one quick time
Like
hop,
3
Scott
shots here. The the guard doesn't have legs. I took off his legs so he could like look like he was submerged in the bushes.
not running into any other
So.
dogs for the rest of the day. There are a few characters I feel like do.
Topham being voiced by me was a last-minute decision as well, because I couldn't find a good Sir Topham Hatt voice actor, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
He strode over to the blue tank.
Originally in the script, it said tall, stout man. I didn't know stout meant short and fat. I thought it just meant fat. Logan ended up pointing that out to me, and I was like, oh, thank you, Logan. Jesus fucking Christ.
The short and fat.
The short and tall and fat.
Okay, for the record, he shouldn't have been walking on that bridge, so that's not on me.
He made the oh so excellent point that you left without him.
Alright, yeah, caught me. But seriously, what are you gonna do? Thomas, I gave you discretion.
I am not afraid to take it away from you.
Oh, you never dare.
Thomas, you're on shunting duty at Knapford from now on.
What?
I warned you.
Listen, sir, I'm sorry. I promise. I'll behave. Just give me another chance.
One chance. Don't mess it up.
Yes, sir.
The scout gentleman walked back to his car. This is Sir Topham Hatt, otherwise known as the Fat Controller. He runs the Northwestern Railway and keeps the engines in check when they fall out of line. He's one of the few people that can actually keep Thomas in line, and for that, I respect him greatly. Thomas steamed down the junction.
So, Logan,
branch line. He came to
this is a question I have to ask you. Why the fuck do you have so many
As
birdies?
Thomas waited, he noticed a red
Because I got all of these through you. You had 3 birdies.
Who are you?
The name's
To be honest, I really don't know why.
passengers from Knapford to
Yeah,
Hartwell.
fair. And also, I just want to thank you personally for not destroying any of them, so I could still, so they still look
So you're
decent.
destroying one yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up fucking destroying one of them. I don't know where it is now, but like, I still have
You like
Oh, I absolutely
2 other
love
birdies
wood
on my shelf. The birdie that I use here to talk, and the birdie that's next to him.
Would you race me?
Or no, the birdie that passes earlier. The one next to him is the one that gets modified later to be destroyed.
Told you you'd get some more action.
Sweet. Let's do this, buddy.
All right. When the signal drops, we'll go.
Alright. The racing shots here that you're gonna see in a moment.
What are you doing?
This branch line
I had never known what masking was until I watched this guy named Captain Disillusion on YouTube who just explains like all like the hoaxes and stuff. And I found out the magical thing of masking that is literally compiling 2 shots together.
Thomas steamed down his branch line with great haste.
These 2 shots were filmed separately of Thomas going over and Birdie. That was also filmed separately, same there. This was actually filmed at the same time. But like basically a lot of it is 2 separate shots of Birdie going over and then Thomas going at 2 different times.
Thomas came up to the old.
That was also, that was just shittily composited together, but yeah, whatever.
Oh fuck. What the? Thomas.
Oh, that boss is the daredevil. Stopping on the tracks, antagonizing me like that. I'll show him.
I actually low-key despise how dramatic I made
Thomas,
this
stop.
scene.
He's stuck on the tracks.
What?
Thomas, stop! Oh fuck! Shit!
So I'm just gonna pause it there real quick because nobody's actually, I feel like very few people have ever seen it. There is actually a full image of the destroyed birdie. It's right here. It's this. The poor fuck got absolutely obliterated. Literally in order to make this, I used black paint to fill in the windows to make them look broken. I took a hammer to his fucking to this little thing, like literally started bashing it. I did the same thing underneath. And, you know, in this picture, he looks alright. But, you know, if you look here, you can kind of see a seam here. When I hit Birdie one time, he literally broke in half. Like, literally, Birdie snapped down the middle, and he was in 2 separate pieces. I don't ever have a picture of it, but, like, if I look here, in this picture, you might be able to see the seam a bit more. Birdie was literally just broken in 2 pieces. Also, the little cut on his face and the black eye, those were just like kind of put in just, you know, the black eye was a reference to fucking Winston's Dumb Adventure, where you know, he falls off the fucking the tracks and ends up on the rails somewhere, and like he has like all the fucking bruises and cuts on his face and shit. So yeah.
Holy shit, Birdie, are you all right?
Yeah.
You can see the black eye there. Also, his wheel came off. That actually took a lot of filming there. The whole crash scene. I'm not going to explain it too much. But literally, just the string was wrapped around multiple times, and I pulled Birdie along. And just, like, the square shape of him made him roll along. And made it look like he was literally tumbling.
Are you gonna be alright, Birdie? Oh, I'll be fine. Sorry about this accident, chap.
No, it's fine. I caused it. I'm sorry.
I suppose it doesn't matter anymore. But in certain shots, you can see a person underneath Birdie. That is his driver. He is canonically dead. Birdie's driver canonically died. That is actually what happened there. It was never touched upon because, like, it was supposed to be a plot point later in the series that'll just never happen now. But, like, you know, like literally canonically, Birdie's driver died.
Hold on. Continue watching. Pause before the short. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
Hey, can we help you? No. You see,
There's more visual glitches here.
I overheard him ranting to himself about you two. He apparently dislikes you two very much, even blames you for it. I don't think you'd be too much trouble, but I do suggest you watch your tenders. Henry and Gordon looked at Markman. They were stunned.
You sure? That doesn't exactly sound like something Thomas would do. Granted, he's selfish, but he wouldn't blame an accident on us.
You know very well that Thomas dislikes us.
But use us as a scapegoat for an accident?
Listen. I'll just let
Always
you
render your footage, kids, because if you
said,
don't, it looks like
don't take
shit.
too much. I just keep your whereabouts from him. Anyway, I have a late night train to book. I'll talk to you two another time.
I have to say, Logan, kudos to you. You're really good at acting as Marklin. That's why you definitely are staying as Marklin when the series is redone.
Interesting ending. Also
Yeah.
bitter.
Yeah, like you have like a very like off-putting vibe to you. You definitely work well for Marklin. I will say, you know, kudos to you, man.
Oh, I see.
well, see ya.
Bye.
I'm back.
Hello.
Oh, here I am.
So, what was that about?
You sound so much younger.
Yeah, it was just only like a year ago.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think it's because I was so used to, like, I guess, voice acting that I couldn't just play myself and be, okay. I couldn't just go, oh, you missed one, I think. Actually, no.
Yeah, no, it goes from this and then it goes to short, too.
Yeah, alright.
Alright. There was actually an opening plan. Did you finish your thought there, Riley?
Oh, no, I mean, I'm not used to just, like, saying a line without, you know, warming up, because that's literally how I talk. It's just, you know, on unprepared dialogue, which is how everybody talks. I don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever, I'm rambling. Go ahead.
Yeah. Somebody actually asked a question. Green Engine Lover 368. Oh, Biscuits. What made you decide to use Big City Engine's face for Marklin? Okay, so that literally just came from, like, I wanted a character that wasn't just smiling. Because, like, you know, literally, when you look at every single wooden railway toy, every single character is smiling. Like, the only ones who aren't are, like, Diesel and Big City Engine.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of engines that aren't smiling. So literally, I
suppose there's Scotsman, but I mean, it's supposed to just be a wink, but it's so fucked over.
And they even got the wrong engine. They used Henry's face, and Henry was like pulling like 6 tankers, like flinching, like this is so disgusting.
Yeah, so and they thought Henry was flying Scotsman in that one illustration.
Yeah.
So they just gave Scotsman, a disgusted fucking winking face. He's like, oh, but winking is his thing. Not really.
Like,
but all right.
no. I mean, I guess it kind of added to his character and ultimately made him who he is. Like, kind of like this, you know, kind of like this big guy who's like, oh, you know, don't worry, I've got you covered. Wink. Oh, Smudger as well. Yeah, Smudger. I guess Smudger. I think Smudger's face was too big to fit on Rosie. Big City Engine's face was also too big. I'll go through the whole Markland custom process later in the stream, because like there was a lot of stuff that went into it. But you know, yeah. Oh yeah, how would have Birdie's driver's death played out in the series? Okay, in season 2, this I can talk about this now because this isn't even a spoiler. Like, this literally cannot happen in Satirical Tales of STONWR.
It'll change.
Yeah, no, okay. The original plan was that season 2 would have Noah Williams, who is the news reporter in episode 4, as the antagonist. That was the plan. That was the plan from a while ago. Because the thing is, the way it works is that Birdie's driver was Noah Williams' father. So Noah Williams has like this vendetta against Thomas as an engine. Like, there's actually like a genuine like hatred towards him because he's like, you killed my father, prepare to die. No, but like there was like that whole thing that was like in there, but like he was supposed to be a really shit antagonist, even like, you know, even like just really bad at what he does. But like, you know, the whole thing was that like he causes every single accident that happens in episode or in season 2. So yeah. But you know, that's really how that would have played out. So that's really all there is to say about that. There was actually an intro scene planned here, like a live action scene. We never filmed it, but it was written at one point that Logan would try his damnedest to put like a Christmas hat on me. Oh. We're in the middle of something, we can't. Yeah, no, like the whole idea was that like Logan would try to put a Christmas hat on my fro and it just wouldn't fucking work and I would look like a goddamn idiot. Just never happened though. So like Doof from Phineas and Ferb? No, just like he would cause all the accidents and shit, but like when he tried to reveal his plan.
Oh shit! I need to get gifts for Christmas.
There it is.
Yeah.
Christmas.
By the way, I cut way too much here. Like Bohemian Rhapsody, like cut level. Like.
Well, there's only one scene where the cuts.
Well, yeah, like that's specifically the scene I'm talking about, where like they cut every time a character says something different, and it makes the scene way more tense than it should be. Like, calm the fuck down. But yeah, no, not like Doof. No, it was just like he was gonna reveal his plan, and no one was like, "That is the dumbest fucking thing to be mad about." Like, yeah, it happened, but it was actually well and truly an accident. Thomas says Toby was supposed to appear in episode 7. That was because the Christmas episode was not planned.
I may not do my work normally, but the Christmas season just gets me so motivated.
No, James. It's just that Tapham was running out of engines, and you were the only one available to pull the annual coal train. Normally I would have pulled it, but I've basically been exiled from everywhere but here.
Jeez, way to make me feel like shit.
That's what friends are for.
Oh, how sweet. You two are having a positive interaction.
Well, that's what Christmas does, Edward.
Want anything from the unfinished episode to be released? Probably not. Everything, like I will show some footage from the episodes during this stream, but like there will never be like a full scene. If anything, I'll release like the unedited or like unfucked up footage of episode 5. But like there's not much left other than Topham thinking more about like getting a new engine.
Pretty shitty to get exiled from your branch line. I've
So.
never had one, but I'd assume that it's pretty painful to lose it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. It was pretty stupid. Really got stuck on the tracks. I thought he was being his daredevil self. I couldn't stop in time, and yeah.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Stuff happens. Anyways, I'll shunt your trucks into the.
I'm actually like.
Probably go help Edward clean up the.
I don't know. Like I'll touch on this later.
Hope things get better for you.
Thanks. See ya.
How would Markland get from Germany to Soda? I cannot tell you that. That is a thing that'll be explained later in the series.
Oh man.
Anyways, this whole scene, there's not much to say.
Oh, Edward.
So I'll just talk about Thomas and James, I guess. Thomas and James was like a weird dynamic that I kind of low-key, like, I liked, because, like, you know, Thomas literally, like, was the first engine to be there for James. Not out of kindness, but just, like, out of impulse. Like, Thomas was like, I have to help him. Like, that's what happens in STONWR, but, like, in Satirical Tales of Soda, that might be different. We haven't decided yet. But, you know, like, basically that's how that all went down, but, like, the two kind of formed a little bit of a bond. Like I said with Edward and Gordon in the first episode, the two had formed some sort of unspoken bond. I'll touch on that a bit more in episode 4, but, you know, just thought I would point that out.
He must learn. But he has. Just let him go to the party and actually see him for yourself. He's been really quiet and then getting worried and wouldn't leave us alone until we told you directly. Fine, but that's it.
I guess I could also talk about the way Snow was done. It's Frank Sinatra. Oh, and who's that Frank character you were talking about on Twitter? His name is not actually Frank. He's just a character that'll appear later in the series. I can't explain it other than the fact that he's gonna fill in for another character.
His original name was Herman.
Yeah, his actual name is Herman. It still is Herman. The reason I called him Frank was just because I didn't want to put the name out there yet. But, you know, like, he is still called Herman. But yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit about how the snow worked here. The snow is literally just cotton swabs with some flour in some places, and the weird thing, sugar. Because I tried to make it look like it twinkled, but it never looked like it did. So, like there's just, like, bits and pieces of sugar that are just scattered around on the set that you cannot see. Like, you know, there's the flour on the shed right here. It makes it look all dusted and, you know, all nice. I actually do have something to show here. There was at one point in the script, I never really talked about this a lot, but at one point it was not going to be that Thomas gets sent to Tidmouth, it was that the engines bring the party there. And there's only one picture that ever showed this, and it was this. It's like Christmas lights set up at Knapford. And, like, you know, the Christmas tree in the background. This was all that ever happened. It was never even written down as a concept. It was just an idea that it was like, oh, they're going to bring the party to him. But, you know, it never happened.
Also, Green Lover, Green Engine Lover, I see, do you already have a voice for him? Well, no, we don't.
No, we do not, but, like, you know, like, we've had, like, only one person do a audition, and it's, like, I think it's just my fault that, I don't know how to, like, cast him, because I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what voice I'm looking for him. I just want, like, something that's, like, sounds like a 30-year-old, like, man who's, like, British. Like, that's really all it is. Like, somebody who has a nice deep, like, chest voice. But, like, ironically,
Sup.
just... What?
Sup.
Yeah. Should have used glitter? Okay. No. No. I'm just gonna play the scene here, right? There's nothing else. Oh yeah, the lights on Tidmouth, those were just those were literally just wrapped around. I have like, it's literally just a tiny thing. I asked my dad, hey, can you buy me Christmas lights for a video? And he was like, oh sure. And then he proceeded to buy me mini LEDs that were like HO scale lights. I didn't ask him to buy me those, but I was like, holy shit, these are perfect. And, you know, that's basically what my dad ended up buying, and I was like, thank you. That works way better than I expected. And so, you know, like, it looks nice. But, oh, I was talking about something. Okie dokie, I try out, but it's gonna be sent through my friend Logan, who tried out for
Oh, this shot brings back memories.
Ah, fuck.
Imagine.
Okay, so...
Imagine? Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so...
You're gonna have to show it.
I have to. So...
Yeah.
I was in the middle of filming, right? And, you know, it was... You know, it's Christmas and shit, and fuck, I guess. Like, I was filming this on, like, literally, like, the 22nd or something. But what happened was I was just filming, right? And there was a truck driving by in the background. I'm just gonna let this play. Sorry, motorcycle. Imagine having a really small dick and having to compensate by driving by like houses at like, oh, what time was it? Fucking 6 at night. In order to assert the fucking non-realistic dominance. Just some cynical comment, just some really dumb, off-hinge, cynical comment. And Riley fucking turned it into an in-joke, just randomly just saying, imagine having, and like, just out of nowhere, it just turned into a dumb fucking joke. And like, it's just, every once in a while, he just brings it up, I'm like, fuck. Because that video is somewhere
like
on...
a truck or a motorcycle will go by his house and I go, imagine.
Yeah, it was literally just like any time there was like, someone has a bump outside, it's like, imagine. But, you know, that's, yeah. But it was just such a, like, dumb thing, and I put it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, look at me, I'm so deep, and it was just like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Are there any other questions? Yeah, hold on. Okie dokie, blah, 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 blah. But glitter, I hate glitter. No, LMAO, much. I'm such a small deck. LMAO. Yeah. But, you know, the thing about the glitter is that would not be able to fucking work because...
It's probably just a joke.
Yeah.
Well, many thanks to both of you. Don't mention it. Come on, it seems to be...
But, you know...
Seriously, don't mention it. I'm gonna die.
Don't mention it if you do, you know.
Here you die. I don't want the rules.
The Christmas season. The festivities are so nice.
You made... Hold on. You lost the opportunity to have James quote that red looks nice against the snow.
Yeah, I kind of... No, Cobb, stop, Cobb.
Why me?
Will the stream be deleted once it's finished? No, it will not. This will actually go right into the playlist, will be made as a public video, and, like, I'm gonna keep this up for literally everyone to watch in the future. Yeah. Hold on, give me a moment. I'm gonna actually give Cobb moderator. Please do not abuse this. Don't fuck it up. Oh my god, I go to, like, 3 hobby shops later. Later, skaters. Okay, see ya.
Alright, see ya.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
This lighting that changes is just Thomas reversing, but like I had my fucking computer screen on, so like the light was casting against everything and it looked like shit.
And Gordon is somewhere doing God knows what. He's getting a gift if I recall correctly.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck.
Oh, I got it. Wait. No, I don't.
Logan, do you remember... What was your reaction when I said I just wanted, like, to go into a store with Gordon? Like...
I didn't expect it.
Yeah. But, like, if I go back there, why is James red, Devin? Is Henry supposed to be blue? Is Edward a girl? Oh, shut the fuck up,
here we
Cole.
go.
Here we go. Off the rails. No. But yeah, no, so the sad thing about this scene, I'm actually just gonna let it play here. The person in the background that you see here is Logan. He's like looking for ice cream over there. But the sad thing about this scene is that this store is closed now. It got closed like Easter of this year. Like literally after Easter. And the thing is, like, this is a future thing that never happened, but there was supposed to be another Christmas special this year that was gonna be about Percy. And like Thomas was gonna try to go to the store and he would just pull up and be like, when the fuck did this place close?
Gordon was literally here a year ago.
Yeah. Also, Edward's lines there when he bumps into Markham were entirely improvised. Like it was literally just like, oh my, sorry. But, you know, like everything else, like I genuinely didn't mean to bump into you. That was just improvised on the spot.
Last time you saw me, you mistook me for a German spy.
Listen, I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can jog his memory. Get you to do proper work instead of dirty shunting.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Hi.
Thomas, why are you here?
I guess Topham changed his mind and let me come to the Christmas party.
Well, that's good to hear.
Oh, Thomas, it's you. Yeah, it's me. What's his problem?
Hell if I know. Anyways, doesn't...
When did we get to see Scarloia and Rheneas? Not until season 2.
It looks like in the intro.
What?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Gordon's here.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Fun fact about the engine shed. He got to hold Marklin.
Yeah.
Fun fact, we also found another Marklin at the Edison show. Another fun
Yeah.
fact by the engine shed. Thank you, Kobe.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Oh yeah, Logan.
It's perfect.
I love James's
For
reaction
you
here.
is a tube of paint. Now you can get repainted anytime you want.
Yes, he's so happy.
That's fucking stupid. Let me finish. I know you don't like being bothered often, so
I actually still have that card, the 5 for use card. I have it right here. It's still on my bureau. I have it now, but like,
24 hours.
it's still right here. This card is over a year old, and I still have it.
The best gift I could ask for. No problem. Merry Christmas to both of you.
Wow, it's actually nice.
Just a fun fact about this episode. This is the only episode in which every single character says a line. Like, every single main character.
Got me here in the first place. What? How did you find out about that? I overheard my crew talking about it to your crew when they got out of my cab. Well then, Thomas.
Yes!
Merry Christmas to you too,
Yes.
Edward.
Yes.
And Merry Christmas to all the viewers at home.
Yes.
Yes!
Wait, what's the matter? Never mind, Edward. I guess so much has changed. I'll see what
I don't know if you remember this, Logan, but I said, like, I wanted to have the engine sing here. Like, I wanted to have them sing We Wish You a Merry Christmas, but it just never ended up happening.
Correct.
Yeah, I remember, like, it was literally like Thomas was gonna say at the end and have a satirical New Year, and Henry was like, that literally makes no fucking sense! And that was, that was gonna be how it ended, but, that's it. That's the Christmas episode.
Oh, here we go with the short. Now I do. I was talking about.
Hold on, I'm just gonna touch on this lightly. I'm gonna use the time during this to discuss something. Was it fun to clean all the flour? No, it was not. In fact, the snow stuck to the fucking grass mat, and like you can still see it in like episode 4 in some points. I'm just gonna lower the volume here. When will we get to see Boko the political diesel? Oh fuck. Season 2. Billy and Dennis won't ever appear in this series. So I'm going to use this scene to talk about something. The thing is about Satirical Tales is that it was supposed to be like an origin story for like the lore of my series. Because there's a character that I invented in the series named Biscuits, which is literally just me. That's all it is. It's just me, but as a YouTuber and slightly cocky. Like that, like little cocky, little egotistical. Really not the best way to portray himself, or portray myself, I guess. But, basically the whole thing was that Devin was, he made videos, but then he, Logan started telling him the stories. That's what the live action sees at the start of the series. He started telling him the Thomas stories, and he naturally, or gradually becomes more and more interested until he starts actually, making Satirical Tales.
What is that humming?
That was the fan that we left on.
Learned how nuclear reactors work. I spoke fucking Spanish. All right.
That line was done at like, oh fuck, in like noon, just like fucked up there. Hold on. Hold on, I fucked up.
Well, yeah. All right.
That line was shot at like. How long were we out here, Logan? Do you remember? We were out here for like 3 hours filming.
We were out there for a good while.
Yeah, and like you can see the sun just gradually start to like crest over Logan's scalp. But like there was that line was just like, yeah, fuck it, sure, I'll scream I spoke fucking Spanish just in the middle of this like closed off ass neighborhood. But well, let me play it. But basically Biscuits was at one point named Devin, and he, through the series of Satirical Tales, the live action scenes, became more and more interested in Thomas through Logan telling him the stories. And he decided he would adapt them. That would literally be like the last live action scene in episode 13. Devin making Satirical Tales episode 1. Funny story.
Yeah, funny story.
Funny story. And if you don't believe me, August came out September. Strike, September, did not come out. Percy, October, did not come out. Conflict Resolution, did not come out. That was the plan. An episode a month. I hadn't even finished filming episode 6 when I had made this video. I don't know what kind of fucking drugs I was on, but fucking hell. I was like, sure, yeah, it's fucking 4 episodes, all like a month, every episode a month. Yeah, this will work just fine. It did not work just fine. Yeah, but you know. We can skip the blooper reel. You know, you guys can find the blooper reel. Riley, it is your time to shine.
Oh fuck! All right.
Let me turn on the.
Playing the part written by. Thank God you didn't swap the fucking colors.
I did in the trailer for episode 4.
Yeah, the trailer for episode 4. For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Will you ever fucking stop? I sit in this shed, then you spontaneously arise from the hells that you come from, desperately trying to find a way to bring up the accident with Birdie. For the last time, it was a fucking accident. I didn't mean to destroy the poor guy. I didn't even think he would stall on the gates.
Buddy, you fucking charged at him trying to prove...
Despite the time... When did this video come out?
July?
It was filmed in January.
Yeah, and it was written in January, too.
Yeah, filmed and written in January. I had been on a huge fucking hiatus after episode 3. Because what ended up happening after episode 3 is I had edited the entirety of episode 2, like, within the last 2 months of the year. And filmed and edited the entirety of episode 3 within December.
Yeah.
I had overworked myself, and I was burnt out for, like, 6 months. I did not write anything. That was the only thing I did. I wrote. But I didn't film, I didn't edit, I didn't do anything. I was just fucking brain dead and exhausted. And I was like, I'm not doing anything for the rest of my life. Until STONWR Short 2 came out. So.
You don't back down from a game of chicken with a train. Don't bullshit me about that being an accident. If you just played your part in the story and didn't fuck
The
around
song
with
playing
my
here, by the way, was
person
something that was
instead,
supposed to
you
appear in
behave yourself
episode
like a
7, but
proper
ultimately was just
You'd be the
never
pride of the
used.
line, but look where
Yeah.
you led yourself. Back to square one. A station pilot.
I'll explain
You
stuff
bullshit
in a
me about
bit.
playing my part when you can hardly play your own. You're the fucking narrator, for Christ's sake. You're not a character. All you do is fuck with me and ruin my life.
Really? Is that how you feel? You just want me to stop talking to you, foiling your sick plans and acknowledging your responses?
Yes, for the love of God, I'm willing to bet you money, if you had any, that if you weren't around, I'd probably be the first tank engine to pull the express. Just narrate and leave me out of it.
Fine then.
There we go.
It was a fine day on the island of Soda.
So this is the actual... So, this is actually, what the idea of this short, stemmed from. Everything you saw before was filler just for the excuse of the short to exist that I wrote. Anyway.
That's an odd measurement to go by.
Fahrenheit.
Oh, what the fuck are you doing?
Celsius.
Holy fucking shit, go back, I'm sorry!
Nah, that doesn't seem right. Undo.
Too bloody right, it doesn't seem right.
From the top, shall we? It was a fine day on the island of STONWR. A chilly 0 degrees Celsius.
That's a tad cold. Thanks for the heat. Wait a minute.
Fahrenheit.
No. Think about this rationally, narrator.
Kelvin.
No!
So, I'm just gonna pause for a second, not the video, but just actually go back.
Yeah, you want me to point out the narrator thing?
There it is. Yeah, okay, now just pause right there. Just leave it there.
Yeah.
This whole short was just an idea I came up with while I was in the shower. I thought about, what if, there was, if you were to set something up with some power that you have, like this, what happens in the short, and you go, oh, it's this temperature, and then you edit it to change the measuring system, then it fucks around with the temperature. Like, you go from, 0 degrees or whatever, I forget how the measurements go at this point, but from Celsius, and then, Fahrenheit, and then go all the way down to Kelvin. It's going to be a huge fucking change in how the temperature actually is. And I thought, like, oh, what if that just made into a comedic skit, and then, why did it?
It skipped forwards.
Oh, okay. A comedic skit by anything really, and then I thought, like, oh, well, I mean, Satirical Tales is literally meant for that. So yeah, I wrote the short, and honestly, it was like a turning point, I think, because Devin, he told me that when he read the script, it basically motivated him to change a bit up in the how the series was going to go, to give Thomas more development in a way. Like it wasn't just going to be cocky all the way through. It was going to be like he was going to start changing how he acted at one point, and it shows in episode 4. But yeah, so yeah, this is how we go. This is how I go to like the big conclusion, really right here. Logan, through the entire series and the live action scenes, has been able to do these wacky things like extending his arm unreasonable lengths to shush Devin, pulling a fucking chair out of his robe, and being able to interact with like 2 characters from the series. And not only of the things he does, but the way how he acts sometimes. And the way how he acts in the script, how chaotic it was. The short, I mean, not script, what the hell am I talking about? We came to like this conclusion that, holy shit, Logan is Discord from My Little Pony. So it really clicked with me once Devin used Discord, the band jazz cover of the song by Eurobeat Baroni, made by Living Tombstone.
Yeah, the big band jazz cover was made by Stable Free, actually. That's what
and it was and the jazz cover is covering the remix by Living Tombstone. Anyway, so yeah, and then in the third short, we kind of amplify that by making him more chaotic. But we'll see that eventually. Anyway.
Yeah.
Or why am I playing?
I'll go to
All right.
Oh, okay, sure. So episode 4. I'm just gonna let me check. Right, never mind. Okay, we don't have actually anything to say. I'm just gonna say that this is a personal favorite episode that I've made. I'll talk about this during the intro a bit more, but you know, we'll just go after this. After all these years, we still don't know who Cotton Eye Joe is. What do you mean? Who's Cotton Eye Joe Mama?
Where did it come from? Where did it go?
Where did he come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Joe. No. Ginger Percy is actually playing here. Like, the reason why I'm using this video is because Winston's Dumb Adventure, or just Ginger Percy as a whole, was a huge inspiration for what I did in Satirical Tales. Because, like, I remember I had seen as, like Thomas in the pilot episode of Fatal Death or something. It's gone now, but, like, his videos were so funny to me. But, you know. Yeah. Something about the book. The book was originally supposed to have, like, a curse on it. Like, it was like a magical item. One that, like, entices the reader the more they read it. Or, you know, the more they read it or listen. The idea was, you know, just ultimately scrapped. But, you know. And was instead replaced by the whole Discord thing that, like, you know, Logan is enticing Devin into literally reliving his childhood, basically. So, yeah, anyways, like I'm gonna say, episode 4 is a personal favorite of mine. It's a decent length. It's 22 minutes long. It's a long episode, but, you know, it has a nice cast, fun character dynamics. The editing isn't shit, you know, the facial expressions, like, you know, that was definitely a huge step. And also it actually had proper lighting. Like, I actually had a lighting setup for this series, or for this episode. Like, this is, like, I guess, like, if somebody was like, hey, can you explain Satirical Tales and the way it works in one episode, I would show them this episode. Did I pause it?
Okay. No, I did.
Okay.
Now, does anyone have any ideas on where we could get another engine?
Well, there is James. Who? James. You know, the red one?
Been sitting in the sheds for the last week.
Nope, not ringing a bell.
He's the engine who had the accident with the trucks.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
No, he was just repaired, then no one wanted to drive him, so we just left him in the shed.
Oh. Well, I have an engine to talk to. Thank you, gents, and get back to work.
Markland's whistle has never been consistent, by the way. It was wrong in episode 1. In episode 4, that was something different. And at the end of episode 4 is the whistle that I end up using. But because the series is over now, it never will be used.
Hi.
So I hear you've not been doing much work, eh?
Well, to be fair, it's not like anyone gives me work, let alone drive me. They think I'm cursed.
Well, I've got a job for you.
Really?
Yes. See, before the winter season, Thomas had an accident on the Farquhar branch. We never got around to fixing the damage until now, but I've sent Edward down to help fix it, meaning he'll be missing his afternoon passenger train. Would you like to take it?
The name's the Red Engine. James the Red Engine.
What?
It's a reference to... Wait. What year is it?
The, I actually want to point stuff out there. Sorry, I zoned out. You can see the facial expressions aren't actually that great at the start, and then they gradually become better throughout the series.
What are your names?
Charles, sir.
Albert.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
Get in this engine
You know, the face editing, you know, it improves gradually throughout the series. So, you know. James breaking the fourth wall always bugs me. You know, where he, like, talks about the whole, like, oh, you know, the name's the Red Engine. James the Red Engine. Like, that always, like, subtly bothered me. Because, like, when I kind of want to die. I feel that. When I first, wrote the series, I was like, I only want Thomas and Henry to be the fourth wall breakers. James breaking the fourth wall was just, like, a one-off joke. Like, he isn't one of the fourth wall breakers.
Huh? James, hold on. The guard hasn't even blown his whistle yet.
Wait, what?
You have to wait for the guard to blow his whistle.
That was the first attempt at, like, masking faces with motion. And it doesn't look great, because it's just, it's so hard to guess where they're going.
All the passengers get accounted for, and then when the guard's whistle is blown, you can set off.
Alright, thanks.
No problem.
Alright. I have something to say around here.
Alright. By all means.
Yeah.
Come along, ladies. We have a timetable to keep to.
We are.
Doesn't exactly feel like it.
I actually am really proud of that face there.
Yeah. Hope we don't get into an accident.
We should be fine, as long as James doesn't do something stupid, like bumping the coaches.
Yeah, knock on.
Shit! Jinxed it!
James, stop bumping the coaches!
Alright, so, basically, when Devin wanted me to voice Albert for the series, he wanted me to do like a young kind of voice, and trying to separate my voice from the guard in episode 2, I guess it did kind of come in handy that I just didn't sound like the guard when voicing Albert. So what I did was I based his voice off of something else. Probably not the best thing to do, but unless it's like a direct reference, but whatever. I based his voice on the actor Ben Hardy as Roger Taylor from Bohemian Rhapsody. And it was more up here, right? So unlike Roger Taylor's voice in real life, which is more raspy in a way. But yeah, I basically based it off of Ben Hardy's rendition of Roger Taylor from Bohemian Rhapsody, and I guess it sticked in some cases.
I actually really did think that it was a good voice for Albert.
Yeah, alright. But yeah, that's all I want to say for that.
Alright.
No, they're not.
Fact.
Yes, they are. I say this, despite the fact that I've never pulled passenger trains, but still, they're holding us back. They're just older coaches. If you're not careful, something's gonna break.
Son of a bitch.
What happened? You're kidding, right? You really
He's
don't
so
know.
fucking dumb.
Yeah, not really. You imbecile. You've damaged the brake pipe. Oh, son of a bitch, I recognize this stretch of line. We're on nowhere stretch. Nowhere stretch? The hell is that?
Okay,
It's a
hold on.
stretch
I
of
gotta.
trek where there's
Hold
no
on.
civilization for miles. Oh. Oh? It's all you have to say is, oh? James, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere stretch
There's no way to get in contact with anyone.
is
And your only
a
response
joke
is,
that I
"Oh,
came up with, like,
sorry, all right?"
literally to myself.
She starts liking a guy, and she's
By the
like,
way,
"Just wanted to be on
I'm
time
gonna
for
pause it real quick. Nowhere stretch was like this this concept where in season 1 there are so many shots where it's just nothing is there. Like, they're just going through the main, like, they're just going down the main line. No houses, no telegraph lines, just dead space. And I was like, what the fuck happens if something, like, if an engine breaks down here? There is nothing anyone can do. So, like, literally, they would just have to sit there, and I was like, it seems a little dumb. Let's make it into a thing. And, you know, Nowhere Stretch was basically born. It literally just refers to a dead space of main line. I believe it's, in my series, it's between Knapford and Crosby. But, you know.
Also, you're gonna fucking shank me for this, but James is wrong roading.
Okay, Riley?
Yeah.
Episodes 4, 5, 6, 7, all engines wrong road. Every single engine wrong roads in that series. In the opening, you know that shot where Edward's going by Topham Manor? He is wrong roading. They're they wrong road so much in season 1, and I'm so mad at myself because like now every time I'm like filming for like Satirical Tales of Sodor, I'm like, are they wrong writing? Are they wrong roading? Riley, which side do they go on again?
Left is literally like roads.
I know.
It's Britain, for fuck's sake.
I know. Yeah. Logan.
Yeah.
Hi. Tell me, did you think that like James's outburst, like you're like, I was just like, fuck it, I'll have him be fucking pissed off. Do you think that was a dumb idea?
Make him be a what?
Like it. What are you doing? Are you present within the scene?
I was talking to Deanna.
Okay. But no, like do you think like the whole like James being like pissed off here? Do you think that was even worth it, or do you think it was just like a dumb idea?
I mean, it's not a bad thing to have had done.
All right. I mean, I don't know. Like I think back on it, I'm like, Logan was really good at acting here, but Christ, is it pathetic? Like, oh my God. I'm not saying you're pathetic. It's just like I feel like I wrote James in such like a negative light here. They made him look like a fucking child. Like that's like the biggest gripe I have about like the whole series is that James, like in this scene, just the way it plays out.
It looked like a goddamn useful engine, so I bumped into the coaches and hoped to make them come easier.
It was funny at one point, but then I was just thinking back. I was like, Christ, on a bike. I feel really bad now.
Promising us a raise. We want to look like we took it seriously.
Really?
Yes, it's clear we're both in a bit of a predicament.
Albert has no eyebrows.
Just work together.
He does now, but he didn't there.
Okay.
All right. I guess we should figure out the problem.
Well, I'm 90% sure the brake pipe has been damaged. If so, I've no clue how to fix it.
So how's it look?
Not looking so good. Probably gonna be here for a while.
Not necessarily. I've heard tales of brake pipes being mended by simply wrapping duct tape around the hole. People tell me it solves everything.
I never even asked like him to sound like irritated there, but like it added a lot to the way Albert thought.
No, but there might be one somewhere.
Maybe one of the passengers.
Wait, what, Log?
Sure. But what is a boot?
Oh, I was talking to Deanna real quick.
Alright.
Just trust me.
Sorry to bother you, but do any of you have any leather bootlaces? Can anyone spare some leather bootlaces? Excuse me, ladies and gents, does anyone in this coach have a leather bootlace?
Yes, I do. Why?
Oh, finally, please come out here with me. See, James was bumping the coaches and then damaged the brake pipe. We need...
You're kidding. You guys don't carry spares? Railway crew don't just carry spare brake pipes. Listen, we just need your bootlace until we get to the end of the line, and then we can swap out the coaches. I've never been more disgraced in my life. I won't do it.
This is more Noah Williams here. Like this is like he's genuinely like mad at the railway for like fucking up. Like they killed his father and now they're just not even getting him to his work, like to where he works. And he's like, you know what? You know what? This is how it ends.
Confident? Then he should go tell them for himself. Gladly.
Well, what's going on?
We aren't going. They asked for my leather bootlace to fix something, but they refused to. What is happening?
Oi, give him the bootleg. Stop.
You don't like the bootlegs now, you goddamn leg.
Okay, I'll give it to them.
I do actually have to give kudos to Oh My Sodor and one of my friends, Kat, for doing 2 lines within that scene.
Goddamn legs.
Yes, goddamn legs. No eating, just goddamn legs.
He didn't seem too happy.
It's medium in for you.
Huh?
There was Noah Williams. He's a news reporter. What's the recently published Sodo Times newspaper.
Interesting.
So, how does this work?
Oh, right. So one time I was filming a ghost train on my old line.
This is a subtle reference to Felt Mind Pinky with from My Little Pony, where like she's thinking and it's like everything's all like felt and like nice fabrics and shit. That's all this scene was a reference to.
Newspaper around the hole and then tied it into place with the bootlace.
The way those were actually filmed, I'll show it real quick. The popsicle stick thing was done like this. Pictures were taken of everything on white backgrounds. Hold on, they're loading. So like, yeah, like this is the worker holding a newspaper. I think mass breakout from Azkaban. Logan, what is that? Azkaban.
Azkaban is a prison in Harry Potter.
Yeah. So that's what that was. This is a tree. Only wooden railway tree I have. And that was just one of the trucks. The James that you see is a promo image that came from something I found online. So, I'll go through this full behind the scenes folder once we finish these episodes, because Logan will be gone and he won't really. Yeah.
Great to seal between the pipes.
I'll just finish off with that.
There we are. All done.
It's a little embarrassing, but we should be able to move now.
I remember this episode got delayed because of one line. Yeah, Kat, she didn't send in her line. She needed to send in her line where she says like, if you don't give him the bootlace, I'm going to eat your goddamn legs. I needed that line because I needed a female like line there because I didn't just want it to be a sausage fest because there was 2 female characters in the coach. So I wanted at least one female voice, but it's Simon from Satirical Conflict. I'm actually glad somebody did pick that up because that's exactly what it was. I remember I made it shortly after watching SudCon, and I was like, I still had him, so I was like, fuck it, I'll use him. Just throw him in as a gag. Oh, fuck you. Hold on.
Thanks.
It's brilliant, James.
There we are. All done.
It's a little embarrassing, but we should be able to move now.
And we're off. Good idea, James.
Thanks.
What the hell, James?
What?
I actually wrote the song that's playing here. Not wrote it, I just made it. It was just made like using GarageBand. The song is called Reprimanded. It is like actually on the soundtrack down here.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Can you see that?
If the
Yeah, right
coaches
there.
are damaged, how would we be able to pull the trains?
You have to be the dumbest engine I've ever spoken with. Not only do we have damaged rolling stock, but if Noah writes about this incident, then we might have a damaged reputation too. You're lucky the passengers considered it quick thinking on the crew's part. But this cannot go unpunished, James. I'm putting you on freight duty until you can learn how to pull trains properly.
What?
Your actions today require a penalty, and this is it. Do not mess this job up.
You gotta be joking.
What's going on, James?
I bumped some coaches. Damaged the brake pipe. It had to be fixed with a newspaper and a passenger's leather bootlace. Some top on it.
Wait, you're joking, right?
Gordon's face isn't actually fully edited there. That was actually an accident on my
You
part.
had your train repaired with a bootlace? Wait till Henry hears about this.
Oh, fuck you.
James had his tender removed for that scene.
This is the dumbest thing.
Originally, this episode was going to be split in 2 parts, and this would be the second part.
Hey, James.
Just ultimately never happened.
Your accident with the coaches.
What? You had to tease me about it like Gordon did?
No. I just want to say, well, I know how you feel.
What?
I know how it feels. You feel pretty sucky.
Again, with the dynamic between Thomas and James.
Thanks, Thomas. This actually...
Thomas, I kind of liked it because, like, while Thomas is younger than James, and smaller, I guess. Thomas has more advice for James. Like it's a bit of a twist because Thomas has like been forced to age violently because of he made a mistake that ultimately like damaged his reputation, and he needs to overcome that. But James hasn't really reached a point like that. Also, I like the truck like looks over at Thomas like fuck you.
Thanks. You take care of the odds down here, all right?
I will.
Yeah, hold on. I'm actually gonna pause it because now I'm getting caught up in everything. Thomas and James, they developed a dynamic that not a lot of engines actually had, with Thomas being younger but still more wise, but James being older but still not really sure what he's saying, shit like that. And like even with the way Gordon like looks down on James for it, he's like like he's socializing with a tank engine, let alone Thomas. Like, it's almost like a Romeo and Juliet thing, where it's like they aren't supposed to be talking, but regardless, they still are.
But for the record, they're not being shipped, so don't get
don't ship the trains. Jesus Christ. Also, there was a really shitty, foreshadowing there.
There's nothing important there.
Alright.
Where Thomas says, they're going to Croven's Gate. That was supposed to be referencing that, narrow gauge railway is being built, but it just never happened.
The odds down here, all right?
I will. Good luck, James. Don't let those trucks screw with you again.
Oh, I don't plan on it.
So, the truck voices here in a moment. If you've ever watched Mentally Advanced series by Dawn Somewhere, you might recognize that they are attempts at doing the voices for Mentally Advanced Pinkie Pie, Mentally Advanced Rainbow Dash, and Mentally Advanced Fluttershy. Just give it a moment here.
Oh, stop that! Come along. We'll do what we want. Now bugger off. Well, I literally can't. Otherwise, I'd be breaking railway rules. Can't just leave you guys on the main line. Oh, you will. Yes. What was that? Nothing.
That's like a direct thing that Mentally Advanced Pinkie does. Like, yes.
Before. You got this, James.
Yeah, we believe in you.
This, like, I'm actually gonna.
I'll prove that I'm a
Hold
really
on.
useful
Let me flip the pages.
This is steep.
Okay, Gordon's Hill was a set, like actually a full-blown set that actually had a slope that went like 2 feet into the air,
Hold back.
and actually was like a 6-foot-long slope.
Fuck. Come on.
So like it was like that's actually how steep the hill is. Like that's not a tilted camera. That's actually what it looks like.
I can see the top. I'm almost there.
This is a separate set. The crest, as I call it.
Brakes.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel the S-sped. That was just some joke that me and Riley had seen around the time, and we were like, "Fuck it, we'll include it." So.
It reached maximum velocity.
Yeah, it reached maximum velocity. But no, like Gordon, not Gordon. James, like, actually going down the hill at that speed is actually gravity doing its work. I did not push them. I did not pull them on a string. That is actually how fast they went. This shot, I actually had my dad help me with. My dad was pulling James while I moved the camera up.
This isn't helping. Oh shit! Red signal. Driver, we have to stop. What the fuck is ahead of us?
Stupid burst safety valve. And while I was pulling the express too.
We're about to hit the express.
I haven't been looking at the questions.
That probably damage you. Like,
Gordon's teeth are brighter than being an inch away from the sun.
I'd rather damage my reverser than die. Fine, your pain, not mine.
Okay, I just want to mention something real quick. Somebody asked a question. So for starters, right? I'd always thought about what would happen if an engine was thrown into reverse while going forwards in attempts to stop them. I still don't know what will happen. I think it'd be something like that, and you damage the fucking reverser, but I still don't know what it would physically do to the engine. And also, Narrow Gauge Studios. But wasn't the Skarloey Railway made before the Northwestern Railway or the Sodor in mainland? Here's the thing. Satirical Tales does not take place in, like, 1904, or not 1904, 1915 or whatever. It takes place in 1925. I changed the whole lore of Sodor to fit better. Like, technically, Duck should already be on the island, but he isn't. Hell, Percy isn't even on the island. There's a lot of things that, like, changed, like timeline-wise. Like I said, like, technically, like, all the events that happen in, like, the season 1, like, everything from, like, Thomas and the Breakdown Train, everything from that point back is, like, 1922 to 1924. Not 1915 or 1914 or whatever. No, it was... I've jumped everything forward 10 years for everything to fit. Also, like, you know, just... You know, like, technically, like, there shouldn't even be the things that are in this series, technically. Like, I don't even think Markland should exist yet. Markland is a BR-80 for, you know, German railways, but, like, you know, he technically, shouldn't fucking exist until, like, 1926, so...
Come on, we're slowing down! Switch me off the main line!
Driver, how much longer is this going to take?
Gordon, look out!
Wait, what?
Whoa, what?
The whoa! Logan, do you remember what I did for that? Do you remember?
I do not, honestly.
I literally grabbed the chair and shook it while you were in it to actually, like, make you sway back and forth.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and, like you literally were like, whoa, like you can hear the chair thump down on the floor if you listen closely.
Come on, we're slowing down! Switch me off the main line!
Driver, how much longer is this going to take?
Gordon, look out!
Wait, what?
Whoa, what?
You're like, whoa.
Also, Gordon's whoa.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so there's a bug that happens every once in a while with the way, hold on, it's got to be in here, right? Crunchy whoa, yeah, there it is. There's the way Premiere Pro works sometimes is weird because, like, if you unplug a microphone and plug it back in, the audio will be really choppy. Me and Logan literally needed one more line, and it was Gordon's line where he goes whoa, but the thing is, because the audio was fucked up, the whoa came through like this. Whoa. Whoa, like all choppy and shit, and like apparently it became some, like, I guess something like some dumb joke or something that Riley found funny. I mean, it's just like distorted audio, like, but like it ended up being saved and just simply titled a crunchy whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what happened with that. Yeah, Markland doesn't even exist in the Railway series. Yeah, no. That was based off of Thomas Abridged. You know, the whole Markland thing was based off Thomas Abridged.
Gordon is a Dalek.
Wait, is he?
Yeah, Game Studio.
Yeah. The abandoned tracks scenes were way more trouble than they were worth because James would keep derailing on shit. Yeah. This set is actually a lot more important than people might think. I'm not going to explain why. Other than,
yeah, I'm alive.
It's definitely going to be seen more often.
Hurts a lot.
Or it would be.
What is this place? Looks like an abandoned station. Oh, hang on. This looks like old Mary.
Really? What's with the, relatively new-looking trucks in the shed?
It's old. Hang on. Henry's driver said he lost 2 tankers from his train the other day. But what are they doing here?
Those 2 tankers were actually referenced in episode 2. Henry's talking about how he lost 2 tankers from his train, and at first he thought someone stole them, but he was like, why the hell will that even happen? Was the tree falling intentional? Yes, it was. That's why it was so difficult to film. Because the string would either pull the tree over sooner than it should have, or James would derail on the tree. There's footage somewhere of, like, James hitting a tree that has fallen onto the rails. But, like, I could never get the shot right, and it was, like, hot as fuck in my room, and I was just, like, getting more and more annoyed. And eventually I was just like, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. So, the scene was, you know, that was cut from the episode, but, I'm actually gonna show something real quick. Give me a moment to, set this up. While the episode, hold on, give me a moment, we're just gonna make sure I get everything in the right place. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna drag this over to the right. I'm gonna let this play. While, you know, I'm just gonna let this sit in the bottom right corner. I'm gonna let it play. This is a time lapse of me making abandoned Marin. So, you know, I'll just let that play while the episode goes.
I know we're solving a big old mystery and all, and I don't want to concern any of you, but I'm bleeding a lot. Just thought I mentioned that.
Alright, James. Figure this out later. Right now, Albert isn't doing so hot.
No, I'm okay. I'm fine. I just... I feel a bit lightheaded.
Alright, let's go.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Guys, I
Yes.
swear, I'm fine. The red stuff, it's just paint. It's just paint, right? It's just paint. It looked great on you, James. It's even red too.
Yeah.
See, in the script, it's just pain, right? It wasn't in the script. It was just a reference to a not dub, but like a fic reading of SCP that Devin did called "It's Just Paint," right? It had something to do with SCP-173.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just referenced that, and then Devin used it. He didn't call me a fucking boomer and told me to redo the line. He just kept it. He was like, "All right, perfect, fine, all right, let's go."
You know, I thought it was cheeky. I thought it was cheeky. So I was like, "Fuck it, you know what? Sure, we'll keep it." Was Marklin responsible for stealing the tankers? Well, they ended up in abandoned Marin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knows that line. It's clearly overgrown. It's definitely difficult to get down there. So no one really knows how the tankers ended up there.
Listen, Albert, that's morbid as fuck.
James, what the hell happened?
Well, some of my trucks broke away on the hill, and then me and the rest of the trucks came flying down here. There's some buffers in that abandoned yard over there, and, well, Albert is bleeding now.
That was Topham's
I'm
car that
alright.
went by in the background,
I'm standing.
implying that he's pulling into Marin.
Is there an ambulance?
Ambulance, Albert. It's called an ambulance.
James!
Fuck.
What in God's name are you playing at?
I'm sorry. I genuinely tried to stop, and I didn't mean for me and my trucks to become a runaway.
James, do you even know what happened with those trucks?
No.
Well, James.
This was definitely the most fun crash scene I've ever filmed.
What's that? Oh, goddamn.
They hit Thomas?
Yes, they hit Thomas. And now he's going to be in the works for the next few weeks, maybe even the next few months. Not to mention almost all the goods in the trucks were ruined.
Listen, sir. I'm the one you assigned to drive James. James, he's a smart engine. He put in a great effort to get up that hill. And once he became a runaway, he tried his best to stop. He even asked us to throw him into reverse, despite the fact it hurt him. He's a good engine. He does not deserve to be punished.
Well, I must say, I didn't expect that. Listen, just go to Tilmouth for now. I'll talk to you later. As for you, Charles, get Albert to a hospital.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Says.
Fun fact, that sigh was me not knowing how to slur my words. I was like, I was annoyed.
Oh wait, so that wasn't actually... I thought that was part of the line.
Oh no, I was genuinely kind of pissed at myself, yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was part of the line.
I mean, it works, so whatever.
Yeah.
What's it gonna do? Stand and talk to you?
I actually do really like the way I visually portray Henry. He just, like, in this scene, he just looks like... he just looks pissed off all the time. He's just like, yeah, sure, whatever, fucker.
To put it simply, I'm displeased with how you've been. You clearly have some faults, and I'm
Look
quite
at him, he's so annoyed. He's just like,
However,
yeah.
as long as you're a hard worker, you can stay in my railway and prove yourself to be a really useful engine.
Wait, really?
Well, of course. I did schedule you to put a light in, might add, clean goods train tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. I won't let you down.
That's a good engine. Best of luck tomorrow, and good night.
See? You shouldn't be a pussy. You know what else you shouldn't do?
What's that?
Talk with tank engines.
Wait, what?
I saw you talking with Thomas this morning. Don't you understand
This
that
was,
that's incredibly untrue?
always a weird
Tank
idea.
engines are lesser than us. They do our bidding, don't you know?
That doesn't...
And the more I started to think about it, the more I realized it was a little fucked up. That the way STONWR worked is that there's two classes. The big engines and the small engines. And
1 second, I'll be right back. Continue that thought. Just pause before the short.
No, definitely.
Yes.
But
Such an
you know, like the two
inconsiderate
characters were
man.
definitely
You
like
can't
the two
accept that
groups
the
were definitely
things that have happened
separated,
are
and
because
like
of him.
Edward was definitely like, you know, the whole. He was very big on like there should be no class divide. Which is why, you know, he tries to be nice to everyone because he's like, you know, this is pointless petty arguments. Why are we doing this? But you know. But you know, I definitely like to include that. That was gonna be resolved eventually, but like, it just never, you know, it could never happen because now that it's all over and whatnot. So.
First I have an accident with a guard, then I have an accident with
Thomas actually, you know, I actually really like how this scene played out.
Then get smashed by a train of trucks. I'm so
Furious?
Huh? Oh, hey Marklin.
Hello, Thomas. I was just pulling a train and I couldn't help but notice you seemed frustrated.
Oh yeah, I was just talking out loud.
Listen, I may not know much about your accident with that guard or that bus, but I do know something else.
What?
I'm starting to think that, while James may have not meant for your accident to happen today, I think it might have been a convenience to you.
What do you mean?
I was passing through Tismis a while ago. James apparently didn't get in trouble for the accident. He even seemed rather happy.
Marklin, what the hell are you getting at?
Well, surely, if your friend has just gotten smashed by a line of trucks, he should have felt bad. Especially if those trucks were his own. But no.
The eyes are occasionally animated. Like, it really happens here when Thomas starts, you know, freaking out. But
I'm simply saying what I would have been saying.
I'm back.
Hey.
Fuck him! He's a naive prick. He doesn't even know how to pull trains, letting them become runaways and smashing into helpless engines.
Calm down, Thomas.
I actually want to point something out about this scene. There was an unused Thomas face that like never happened. It was this one. So, you know, never showed up in the episode though. It was at one point edited in though. I think it was when Thomas was gonna be like, "What are you getting at?" But you know.
He's not the nicest engine, yes, but I think it's good to keep your feelings on him quiet. When you get out of these works, you can prove him wrong, eh? Just take a break from, or thinking from now.
Yeah. Sorry. That might be a good idea. Thanks, Marklin.
So, I think I'm actually gonna head out now.
Do you have anything you want to say, or is it like literally like nothing else?
I don't really think I have anything else, honestly.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for Logan before he, you know, disappears into the void?
Skedaddles.
Yeah, before he sees the.
There's gonna be like a 35-second delay.
It's not 35 seconds. It's like 20.
The other ones, it was 35 seconds.
If anyone has questions for him, you know, questions for, you know, any voice acting stuff, any tips or whatnot, or like, you know, Logan was also one of like the writers for the series. He was the person who came up with like not writers, but like creative director. Like he definitely made sure that the series made sense. So, you know, if there's any questions you guys have.
Doesn't seem to be any.
Well, Logan, thank you for being here for the stream.
What is the hardest line that I had to do?
Wait, who said that?
The famous actor.
Oh, sorry, my chat's a little slow. Yeah, Logan, what is the hardest line you had to do?
The hardest line. I think, to be honest, it's that very first James scream. If not, it was saying railroad crossing.
Oh, no, level crossing. Yeah, no.
That's what I meant.
There was this never popped up, but in episode 2, there was a 5-minute discussion me and Logan had on how to say level crossing. Because, like it says, like, Thomas approached the level crossing. But Logan said level crossing. Like, as if it was one word. But it's 2. So you say level crossing, not level crossing.
Yeah.
But, like, it was just, like, a 5-minute conversation of, like, me and Logan going back and forth, like, how do you say it? How do you say it? And I knew how to say it because I've heard so many people say it, but Logan had, like, rarely said it before, but, you know, yeah. Another question that was, I'm assuming for you. What was the best part of Satirical Tales for you?
I think it was honestly, helping Devin come up with, like, the story, which we can't go too much into because
obviously spoilers.
I don't know
and
if you
whatnot.
plan on reusing anything.
I do like a lot of the core plan out for the series is still going to be used.
So yeah, I can't really give too much away.
Yeah. So, I suppose that if there's any other questions anyone has, I doubt anyone does. But
I haven't seen any other questions come up.
all right, well, I suppose that's a farewell to you then.
Alrighty.
See you, Logan. Have
See ya.
fun doing whatever it is. Have fun watching whatever movie it is you're gonna watch. You guys better go watch Cats 28.
Oh dear. Alright.
All right,
See
see
ya.
ya.
Fucking of course he does that.
Oh shit.
Alright, well anyway.
We can continue it here. So.
Oh yeah, so that.
Yeah, the Railworks whistle that Riley recorded. I told you it never stayed consistent.
Yeah, I literally was on Skype with Devin and I shared system sounds. He recorded it and I got really close to a whistle of a German tank engine. It wasn't a BR-80. And I blew the whistle a couple times in certain ways, certain patterns and whatnot, and he just used that as like an audio file for Markland's whistle.
Hmm. Hold on, I'll be right back. Somebody asked another question. Hold on.
Yeah, alright, well,
Hi, sorry, I'm back. So, Logan said it was just being able to help with the series. He's already gone, but I just relayed the information because we live in the same house.
yeah, they're brothers, so I mean...
Yeah, so... but yeah, so, probably just, as he said, being able to be a part of the series, being able to help out with it and whatnot. And there was a long silence. Yeah. Ah, shit.
Be right back.
Yeah, I'll finish episode 4 solo here. Okay, so...
You're reading without me, aren't you?
What? No, I'm just reading the forward. Fucking fine.
Logan was actually like, I don't remember why I decided to have him be so salty. I mean, I think it's because this episode was written before the whole Discord thing was a thing. So,
I had to read at least one story.
Well, just so you know, I've already read the 4th story. Just tell me next time you're gonna do something like that. Okay?
Alright.
Now, come on. You got a place to go.
Where?
McDick's.
Oh, sweet.
McDick's is just a nickname I came up with McDonald's for.
I have food.
Brilliant. Is it McDick's by chance?
No.
Damn. Okay, I just want to point out that I'm really proud of this credit sequence. It's just a humor director. Basically, made sure shit was funny. But yeah, every once in a while you see someone poke up. It's James. It's the popsicle stick James, and he looks up here, or comes out of Markland, and then looks at Noah Williams. Yeah. And then with the humans, and then it's like the trucks or something. Misk voices, the workers. Yeah, there's James. They have a truck pop out, and then you have mentally advanced Pinky pop out. So yeah, I just thought that was some fun little thing to do. But there's all that. And now we're on to short 3, personal favorite short that was ever made. Under Pressure.
That's my OC.
Wasn't
my OC, I suppose. Still is kind of.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why am I in trains?
Let's see what the trains are doing. It was a busy morning.
This entire short was just to be chaotic. That was the only difference.
Yeah.
Difference. I mean, the only
One more time and I'll shatter to the point where your mind and comprehension abilities will be broken beyond fucking repair. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just to be chaotic.
Destroy you. I'm not the guy you should
Yeah.
have a dick measuring contest with.
Oh, fuck. The route here is something I made in trains ages ago. By ages ago, I mean like 6 months ago. But basically earlier in the opening, you can't hear it, but like Logan's like mumbling to himself. He's like, "What if I could?" No, never mind. Or maybe No, probably not. I'm so bored. Fuck it. Let's see what the trains are doing. And then he opens the book. That's the whole idea. So when you open the book, the universe is open to the world.
Funnel. What? Funnel. I don't have a dick.
Yeah, and it's small.
Okay, what are you even doing here?
I'm bored, and I wanted to see who was here so I can narrate and have something to do. Unfortunately, you're the only one here.
Unfortunately? What's that supposed to mean?
For starters, I can't really fucking narrate.
Is this
without
the
shoving
MLP
the
one?
entirety of the
Yes.
flying kipper up my ass.
I'll have you know that train is really important.
I don't doubt it. Fish. Very valuable shit.
Shit, are you still going? I'm just checking in real quick. Also, my favorite short. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, we're going through the whole series. Like, this is, like, everything. Like, yeah, this is the whole series and then everything that hasn't been seen yet. But yeah, no, like, this is, Yeah, hold on. You'll see it a lot, that a lot of the facial expressions are like, what are those?
How can a railway survive without its innocent rolling stock being ruined with rotten fish?
It doesn't rot if you put invented vans.
That's hardly the point.
Well, that train brings in a lot of money to the railway. They've got to have their fish and chips, you know.
Pretty pathetic when people who like fish is your railway's targeted audience.
Way to twist the knife with irony.
What was that?
Nothing.
Like, a shot like this. Like, literally they were just two face masks masked together. Like, not face masks. Just something else. I forgot what it's called. Just two face models, yeah. Edited together using masking.
Right. Well, back to the original topic of me narrating.
That engine there is personal favorite of mine in trains that I found off of the DLS or something. So, oh, what the fuck? You know what? Sure, whatever. That's James, Charles, and Albert right there. In the shed. So yeah. Thought I'd point that out.
Okay.
Bullshit. Pretty well, back to the... Are you gonna do anything interesting?
Will the scripts be shown off? Sure.
Interesting.
Allow me to put it simple. Are you, Henry the Green Engine, an LMS Black 5 steam locomotive, the number 3 of the Northwestern Railway, and the main goods engine on the island, going to do something, anything, that isn't just sitting at this water tower for 2 to 5 minutes?
So this is a short.
What?
Yeah,
the
that
hell?
all those sound effects of the poofing, the popping, whatever you want to call it, that is Discord. That is Discord's not the site or the application, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Jesus Christ, my vocabulary is deteriorating on the spot. The character for My Little Pony, whenever he'd do pop in and out of existence, that would be the sound effect using that would be used. Fuck. And it would also be the sound effect used if you were to pop something else into existence or out of existence. So basically, we had to find the sound effect to be used in this short.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the whole thing that he's Discord.
Really? It's not like you being in trains a new era gave it away or anything.
I know what you did to Thomas in the last short. If you use that fucking pathetic temperature gag on me, I will personally come up there and run you over.
First of all, if you come up here, you'll be nothing more than a wooden train. What are you gonna do? Bump my foot?
Well, I could...
Secondly, why would I use the same gag on you? No one likes a one-trick pony.
Don't say that word!
What word? Pony?
Stop! Do you want the comment section flooded with thick-minded fans getting on your ass about so much as mentioning the word pony? I said it too!
2 Pegasi flew over to Henry.
What are you doing? You're going to get us boycotted!
So,
Calm down. They're just a bird and a butterfly.
It's pronounced the bird.
And you're doing brony references? This is a BCPK class end of the series scenario! Fuck! Now I'm making references too! Make it stop!
A whole herd of
Turns out COPPA was that.
The sky opened up and a torrential downpour fell upon the land.
This was a good day before you showed up!
Well, you were taking so long at the water tower, I thought you'd like water. Because now it's pouring on you, you ass!
I like water.
a lot of the lines in here are subtle references to things. For example, that line is a direct reference to Mentally Advanced series, where it's like a character like talking and Twilight's talking to Rarity. Rarity asked for a fucking daiquiri, and Twilight made a really like a daiquiri, and Rarity's like, "Oh, I want a specific daiquiri," and Twilight was like, "It's like, well, that's the one you got." Rarity knocks it off the fucking table, and I don't remember exactly.
Now it's on the floor.
Yeah, it's like, I want a daiquiri. It's like, well, that was your daiquiri or something, and then it's like, I hope you like the daiquiri you got because you're sitting in it, you ass. So yeah.
Earn amounts that aren't excessive, you dick. Now kindly fuck off.
I will. Just in time for the final act.
Okay.
Suddenly, a
I
cavalcade
love
of
this, by the
American
way.
steam locomotives charged by the
It is
ship,
so
blowing their whistles as loudly
beautiful.
as fucking possible.
Oh, son of a...
I absolutely love that. Like, I remember like filming it and was like, it was so annoying because I had to get all the engines up to the same speeds. I had to get them all at good, good like frame rate, make sure the lag wasn't too intense.
Their whistles as loudly as fucking possible.
Oh, son of a...
All while it was raining, while there's thousands of ponies, and while James over here, at one point, he actually starts rolling forwards. But, I guess I got that to work. This engine here was not expected to slide in perfectly. That was like a first try thing. Like, I remember I was just sitting there, I was like, please work, and it worked. I was like, yes! Like, literally James when he finds out the tube of paint. There's a Penn salt tanker here, which is a direct reference to,
Kyle, Big
yeah.
Engines 87.
Mm-hmm.
Friend of ours, yeah. He's. Oh, can I say what Kyle's going to be doing?
What?
For the series.
That's what I found.
Yeah, no, do you want it back? It's not mine.
I know.
I had the Vinesauce one.
I know.
Am I allowed to talk about like the new cast? Okay.
Yeah.
Kyle, Big Engines 87. He's going to be voicing Gordon in the new series. And here, like Devin said, the Penn salt tanker connected to that one American engine. I don't know the classes. Is
I don't want to say
a reference to tank. Yeah, it probably is a K4, Shooting Star, and Hank. But it's a direct reference to tank, as literally the same model.
Mm-hmm.
And so literally the character. All it's missing is the face.
Yep. That could be implied. The faces there, just hidden. Just this engine sliding in was so fucking satisfying. But just fucking absolute insanity. I want to point something out. The sound effect work done in episode 4 and short 3 were both done at school. They were both done at my school on the school computers with a sound effects folder that I had exported through Google Drive onto my school account. So, yeah, I just thought that'd be interesting to point out. I have an independent study made entirely for editing videos, and that's exactly what it was. So, like, I did that, like, I was just editing that. Like, just editing, like, whistles in the middle of school. People were like, what the fuck is this kid doing? And that's it. Episode 5... fuck. Is the trippiest thing ever. So...
Yeah.
I don't actually have any notes written for this. I will say the notes as the episode plays out.
Satirical Tales of the Northwestern Railway is not a series meant for children. It is a series meant for viewers aged 13 and up. This series is entirely fan-made. I do not own the rights to, nor do I know anyone affiliated with Thomas and Tank Engine and Friends. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
The original plan for the intro is the original plan for the episode... That's going to be fun to explain. The original plan for the episode was that it was going to be premiered, but Riley said it'd be better if it was just uploaded in the middle of the night. Like, no premiere, no notification, just uploaded, just silently uploaded.
Yeah.
All I did was upload it, Riley added everyone in my Discord and said, hey, episode 5 is up, and the
And it
episode
was-
went up.
At EST, I'm pretty sure it was EST.
Yep.
Time. It was uploaded literally at midnight.
Practically, yeah, like 12:01, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh my God, is that a fidget spinner? You should not have given me this power, Logan. He gave me a fidget spinner. This thing's gonna be in my ass by the end of the night. Orchestral Sands cover, yes.
Alright,
Fuck you.
Dinner's ready.
I'm reading a Chernobyl book because around the time that I started filming this, I was really fascinated by Chernobyl. I'm surprised. Yeah. Sorry, what?
Yeah, all of this, everything that's filmed up until like it glitches right the fuck out with Thomas at the shed. It was not planned. It was not planned to be fucked. This was all planned to be an actual episode. So
yeah. I remember somebody asked earlier if, like, you know, episode 5 was supposed to go somewhere. Yes, it was. So was 6
definitely.
and 7 and 8. But, like, it just never got to happen because there's no feasible way that I could get those episodes out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Finally.
I'm really surprised no one has said anything about the giant pink horse. Like, no one has said anything in the comments about it. Wait, what?
Yeah, no, I was just saying thank you about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, no one's, like I've looked through the comments and no one's said anything about it. Yeah, no, it's just, yeah. The idea of the book on the plate was actually Riley's idea.
This time, I'm going to read. Okay, calm down.
I remember he said, like, you know, he should...
Sit down! Okay.
Okay, hold on, let me pause it there. I remember Riley said, like, you know, it'd be funny if there was, like, a time when, like, Logan's like, okay, I made you food, and you go downstairs, it's just a book on a plate. And he's like, you better be happy with it you have, or something. I want to point out there that the footage that I was working with here was really shit. I didn't realize how bad it was, or, like, my end was really shit. Logan screaming "sit down" actually terrified me. Like, I was genuinely traumatized. Not genuinely, like, actually, like, scared, but, like, Logan is such a timid individual that for him to just scream "sit down" is like...
Somebody fucked up.
Yeah, like, it's terrifying.
Satirical tales of...
Yeah, just checking the comments. Somebody wanted me to. Yeah, so...
Sit down! Okay.
Like, that actually resonated throughout the house and scared the shit out of me. So, you know, episode 5 intro is, everything feels fine. Like, everything's done in a way that makes it seem like it's the actual episode. Hold on. How loud is it, by the way, in comparison to my voice? Yeah. Okay. Just gonna lower it a little. This right here, there was multiple ideas on what to do here. But ultimately we just kind of settled on, like, no words there at all. Do you remember what we wanted to do at one point? Like, we were gonna do something different, I remember. Do you?
It was literally just the end. Like, it would just say the end. It wouldn't glitch. It would just go to the end and see if it would catch anybody off. And we wouldn't glitch up the episode. It would be presented. It would be completely edited, presented as it would be if it were a normal episode, and then it would just cut. Like, it would glitch and cut out.
Yeah.
And it would go to the void instead of, like, a creepy area with Thomas in the shed. It wouldn't be fucked up or sinister. It would just, like, it would cut, and Tom's like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, it's I don't know if anyone ever caught on to it, because, like, you know,
Have free storage.
is this what are you, is there anything on this?
I don't think so.
What's that? Pink horse? What the heck? Gee, why is there a pink horse?
It was a normal day on the island of STONWR, which is actually what people...
There's actually a lot of, like, subtle distortion here.
It only seemed to rain on days
The music's actually really distorted. Gordon's whistle is not subtle at all. You can just tell something's wrong with that.
James's trucks,
Yeah.
he was unable to shunt at Netford. After all, he had essentially been totaled, thus meaning the tender engine
Real life
was
sound
on train.
effects.
This made him very cross.
Gordon's
Why
eyes
must we
fuck up
higher
here.
ups stunt like lesser beings?
Same with
It's
Henry.
Annoying!
Atrocious.
Oh, here's the thing.
Yeah. Nobody fucking like people like. Okay. I remember I surprised Riley with this because
Yeah.
I remember I literally just like played the episode for him and he was like, oh, what the. Yeah, he was like, oh, like it just happened so abruptly, and it was like the thing is, this is based off like what actually happens when I do the eyes. I literally use the smudge tool to like just get a basic color. Oh, excuse me, sorry. But basically, I decided I'd make it creepier by just like having all these streaks shooting out from his face, just kind of looking like some weird like glitchy like fucking tentacle thingy. I don't know. It was just really freaky, and I was like, this looks really scary, like really painful too, in some respect. So yeah.
They said, despite going to the sheds at the end of every day.
We work from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. We're overworked.
That's 9 hours of sleep, plus breaks for refills on fuel. Overworked my ass. Anyways, the three oh-so-higher beings were very bothered. And while they did their work, they were whining and groaning like 5-year-olds whose parents hadn't gotten them the cereal they wanted.
Hey, I'll have you know that I take Cocoa Pebbles over Rice Krispies any day. And no, we're not sponsored by Kellogg.
Media Offline is a Premiere Pro thing.
The engine's behavior was quickly wearing off onto the passengers. The top hat realized that something must be done about this, or else the passengers might try to form a revolution against the railway. With Thomas out of order, it only left...
There is actually a full version of this scene.
Which was
I guess I like, not only with the narrator did I take inspiration from Stanley Parable, but like even with the way it glitches out there. Like that was based off the thing where it's like the confusion ending where they're talking and then it's just like like it just cuts them off like in the middle of a sentence. It's also based off like like an old like Windows error or like something like repeats over and over and then it just stops. Yeah. I actually want to point something out about this scene. You don't see it, but like when it glitches back and forth, there's a shot of Thomas surrounded by Edward, Gordon, Henry, and James, all more or less on their sides, implied to be dead. Marklin is in the background, covered in moss. In the background, all the buildings are knocked over and shit. To make it look like, the railway's in disrepair. Then Thomas has, in a way, I guess, been forgotten. There is actually a behind-the-scenes picture of this. I will actually pull it up real quick. I will properly go through all the behind-the-scenes stuff later, but, like, here's the picture, where it's all the engines just dead. Literally what it looked like. I'll explain what this set is later. It was supposed to appear in episode 6, yeah.
Satirical Tales of the Northwestern Railway.
So, wait, so Marklin... No, he is not. No. If you played Doki Doki Literature Club, you would know the music here is from the Just Monica part of the game. I'm actually going to do something here. I found out something really unfortunate about this scene. My headset works way better than anyone else's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up... Hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this up. Actually, no. You know what I should do? Hold on. Give me a moment. I'm gonna pull this over the right. Put this on the right monitor. Do this. Let me check out. Take a look at that real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna drag this over here just to see what it looks like. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have the episode playing in the corner, but I'm gonna like scroll down through the script so you guys can tell what the fuck is actually happening here. So, because apparently, you guys like I found out like people can barely hear what the hell is happening. So.
Where the fuck am I?
You're aware you're torn, right? In a series on this thing called the internet.
I never understood it, but yeah.
Well, the internet decided we shouldn't exist.
What?
We violated some guidelines. In friends, specifically. Edward, Henry, Gordon, James. All of them. Hell, even the mere image of the people on the railway. Violate a guideline. No. Not a guideline. A law.
What does that mean?
It's over.
What?
Serious. It's over.
What?
Fuckers who created the place that this series is on violated the law. Their way of solving the issue is putting it on us. We're fucked, Thomas. We're not going to exist anymore. By the end of the year, it's over. This whole world, cultivated over the past 4 fucking years, will be fucking gone.
So I want to point out something about the editing there real quick. I'm going to bring it over to the right monitor again. Sorry if the script looks shit. But if you guys look at the background, it's literally undulating.
What do we do?
Say goodbye. Fucking years.
Like it's actually like it looks like a beating heart.
Putting it on us. We're fucked.
And I remember I wanted to like put this effect on the whole background, but it just never.
It's over. This whole world.
Like it genuinely looks like a
4 fucking years will be fucking
like it's
gone.
really fucking gross, and it's like that was definitely what I was going for.
What do we do?
Say goodbye.
There's gotta be a way. There's got.
There isn't. YouTube automatically says that a video is for kids if it has kids content in it, like toys.
Can't it be appealed?
Yeah, but they'll revisit the channel. If the video looks at face value like it appealed to kids, then it's for kids.
What if we just ignore it?
Fined up to $42,530 per video. This series alone, $212,000. I don't know what else to do other than leave.
That just doesn't make sense. Nearly $50,000. What about age restrictions?
What?
Age restrictions. That exists, right?
Well, yeah, but
Age restricted. Age restrict all of it. It can't be for kids whose audiences are literally 18 plus.
I mean, yeah,
Why not give it a go?
because we don't know what will happen.
Well, in a time like the present,
Yeah, and if we get fined,
then we take it as it comes.
here goes nothing.
So, you know, that's how that whole thing plays out. So I'm gonna put everything back to the way it was now. Put this over here. Put that over there. Let me check what it looks like. Okay. Put this back down here, but you know it won't be seen regardless. Okay, you still there, Riley?
Yeah, I'm just doing stuff.
All right. So just the way these shots were filmed was similar to how I did everything that I showed here. Everything that I showed here with the popsicle stick gag, where it's like pictures. Like literally, I just took a bunch of alternate angles of Thomas. This is actually the same wooden railway Thomas that's used in like episodes 1 to 4. So nothing really special there, I suppose. Just thought it'd be interesting to point out. The Magic Railroad buffers sound. I don't know if you heard it, but it is in there. That was actually Riley's idea, and I think it's a good addition. I mean, it just kind of implies something's some universal change or some shit. So. And there's Marklin.
Crazy dream.
Sleeping on the job. Brilliant work, Fathead. You chose the perfect engine to wear the number 1. Just the kind of engine to represent our backwater railway.
Tram Engine Studios. Also, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is when the cast was changed. There's a few engines that keep their original voices, like James, Henry, and Marklin, because their voices you can't imagine in this series. You can't imagine them with different voices.
Yeah.
They've grown on the character well enough, and you can't really see them without it. Characters like Gordon. Gordon is going to be voiced by Big Engines 87. Edward voiced by Tram Engine Studios, and Thomas voiced by me. The reason why Devin casted me as Thomas was because every now and then, my dog is barking upstairs. But anyway, every so often, I would read something, or we'd fuck around, and I would say something in Thomas's perspective, and it was just to him. He said it was so sarcastic. It was so I don't know, done, not like cynical, but kind of in a way hints of cynicism in there. And he wanted me to voice Thomas in I can't really say much other than like the future of Satirical Tales of the Northwestern Railway. After season 1, I'd take over Thomas, and other engines would get different voices too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, originally Satirical Tales was supposed to have a larger voice cast, like I don't want to explain the begins thing, like I don't want to explain that entirely, but I'll explain it later, I guess.
Yeah, so then when we revamped the series, he was like, all right, well, why not just restart the cast now? And Edward, who had 2 voices before, was like, okay, we need a definite voice for Edward to stay, and Tram Engine Studios is Edward. Gordon, it was hard to find voices for, but then at one point Kyle auditioned, and it was like, all right, well, this is as good as we're going to get. Not saying that his voice is bad. I'm just saying that out of all the additions, was the best, and like it was a thing. It was like me or Kyle was going to be Gordon. My Gordon is just ripping off Carrie Shale's Gordon in the U.S. dub, so it's not what Devin's looking for. Kyle had something fresh to add to the voice. It wasn't everyone else was just trying to do like this deep voice that it didn't go anywhere because it was mostly how do I say this? It sounded as you'd expect. Someone who's probably like ranging from 10 to 16 trying to imitate Gordon, and you don't want that to be apparent. You want the character to sound like the character and not someone trying to imitate a voice that the character already has for a fan series of which the character is present in. So Kyle was able to do that.
Yeah.
And as for Henry and James, they kept their voices because they were perfect, and Marklin, of course, is keeping his voice.
Yeah, mainly because it's kind of hard to find. Like, as I said earlier, like, Logan's really good at the Marklin voice, and I don't know a lot of people who can do a German accent and sound threatening, because, like, most people who do German accents often are always like, oh, ja flamboyant, like, that whole thing. But, like, Logan, like, is able to, like, sound... Yeah. So, you know. I do really like... I remember, Riley, you actually wrote this whole scene.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember, like, actually really...
Number 1. Just the kind of engine...
I do really remember, or really enjoy this.
Well, considering how much you and Gordon do it, I'd say he represents the railway quite well.
Oh,
Jokes aside, he's still learning. You can't make progress if you don't learn anything. And we tend to learn a lot from making mistakes or bad decisions.
Okay. Before this shows up, the reskin is entirely legal, okay? I just can't give it to anyone. Before anyone says anything, at the time that this video was made, it was perfectly okay with Unhelpful Git to remake or to do reskins unless, or unless somebody like sends it to another person. Like if I sent the reskin to someone else, that would be a problem. But because, you know, I haven't, it's fine. So if this changes, just note that I'm not going to delete this video and redo it. For good reason, as I'll show in a moment. Also, I really gotta say that, speaking about Helpful Git, I am really in love with these fucking models. These models are great, and they work amazingly for what I want to do. So, yeah.
Help! These bastards won't stop pushing me!
I have to go after him. Wait, are you serious? Thomas, don't be an idiot.
Shut it! Thomas!
And that was it. Like that was the whole premise. Like it's literally saying that Satirical Tales takes place practically moments after or moments before James's crash. It's not gonna be like that exactly in episode 1. I might actually rewrite it. Do you think that'd be okay, Riley? We rewrite it to literally take place from that point in the scene.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
All right, cool, sure. And that was Marklin's evil plan all the entire time. Marklin actually let the elephant free in Henry and the Elephant. No. No, I mean, I think literally at this point it's so painfully obvious that Marklin is doing shit. Like Marklin is not the good guy. It's painfully obvious.
Yeah.
The main twist of this series is to what extent he goes. There's no saying what he does because I can't tell you. It's Marklin is definitely probably like one of the most interesting things I've ever written. And like as Logan said, like he was the person who helped me write Marklin. So like he really like he knows what Marklin is and he knows what he does, and so he knows like the way the character would think or say things. So, and of course you cannot end a dramatic scene like that, a dramatic meme series like that, without either the intro or to be continued, otherwise known as Roundabout by Yes. So that's it. That's the entirety of Satirical Tales of the Northwestern Railway. All covered little over 2 hours. Or a little over 2.5 hours? How long? How long have we been streaming? Yeah, a little over 2.5 hours.
Almost 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah. We're not done though. But wait, there's more! Okay. Not too much more, thank fuck. Just a couple of, behind the scenes things, that I wasn't able to show. So, Give me a moment. I'm going to go into here real quick. I'm just gonna hide that. Give me a moment. I'm gonna go through files and shit, see what there is. Okay, so right. So I guess a good place to start would be with episode 1. Episode 1, there was a lot of shit that hold on, I'm actually gonna pop out the chat real quick, just so I can see shit a bit better. Cool, awesome. So how will Markland be in series if he doesn't have a trains model besides that one weird one?
Well,
okay.
There's been reskinning going on with that model.
Yeah, no, that's something that I'm not proud of. I will show you exactly what it is, though. There was one made ages ago by... Do you know who it was, Riley? Because I don't.
The original Markland was built into trains, and really at one point, STONWR workshops, before it was an actual site, like a long time ago, like 2008, it was like what they would call I guess a backwater site that nobody really knew of. It had reskins of James to be Eagle, what they called the Red Engine at the time. The scrapped tank engine from the Railway Series was a reskin of Percy. Spencer, which was a reskin of Mallard, and then it was Markland, which was just the BR80 model with a face. It was like the original face that was going to be used for Hero. That was leaked a long time ago, and it was just slapped onto the Markland engine, and boom, there was Markland. So now that model is still around to some people. And that model has been reskinned to have a different face, and the colors have been more deepened, more black, more dark.
Yeah, I actually have to do something real quick. The stream might end temporarily. Just give me a moment. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
That sweatshirt you got from Grandma's?
Yeah.
Do you have it on, like, with you?
I did. But I'm wondering if you have mine.
Why?
Yours is downstairs.
No, it's downstairs. Mine had stripes on it.
Mine did too. Yeah, but ours were the exact same look.
Well, I haven't
except
used
for,
it. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so can you guys see this? Is this visually... Yeah? This is the Markland model. This is all it is. This is, literally the angle you see it at and everything. Right, Riley, can you check if the stream is actually going right now?
I will. Hold on.
So, yeah. Okay, cool. The stream is going. Okay, never mind.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. But, this is the model. This is an edited face that I did of Big City Engine myself. Yeah. And Arlesburg West Productions threw together this reskin. Cheers to him, I suppose. This model won't be used for the whole series. I don't even think it'll be used past, like, episode 1. Because Markland isn't going to talk in episode 1. But the idea is by episode 2 to have a 3D like faced model for Markland, like literally like an actual full-blown commission. Because I do have the money for it. I was going to commission one from Mainland Studios, but I never had the chance to because by the time that I actually got money, he could close his commissions. So, this is the Markland model. It has the same whistle that he has at the end of episode 4. But yeah. Anyways, back to the behind-the-scenes shit that I was talking about, earlier. If anyone else actually have any questions about the main series first, I'm gonna go through some of the behind-the-scenes stuff here. This is the Ellsbridge Tunnel set, as I called it. This was just like the first scene in the episode. You can see Marklin over there, pulling the fuel tanker. And then you can also see Cranky over here. That's how I pulled the strings. I would like sit here, or sit over here. Camera would be facing at Thomas, and then I would have it like wrap. The string would wrap around Cranky, and then come over here, and that's how I would pull the engines. This is actually something interesting. The facial expressions that were seen in episode 4 were actually part of a test, or not a part of a test. It wasn't the first time I used 3D edited faces. The first time I did was with this test back with episode 1.
One of those engines coming right now. This is Thomas.
Whoa, hey.
What?
You don't got to explain who I am.
Why not?
Because everyone already knows who I am. Like, yeah, thanks for the introduction, but everyone already knows me. I'm the really useful engine, you know?
As you can see, this engine is extremely full of himself. His name is Thomas. He's the #1 engine on this railway.
No.
Shh. What? Fine. Since he doesn't want to be introduced, let's just move on to someone who won't interrupt me while I'm speaking.
Wait, what? No, I want to be in the spotlight.
Too bad. This is Knapford Station, the biggest station on the island of Sodor.
So yeah, that was all that ever came out of that. What was your favorite episode of Satirical Tales of the Northwestern Railway? As I said earlier, episode 4. Like the way everything works in that episode is just kind of satisfying. Like, it actually has like character development in it. The characters over time gradually warm up to one another. Like,
sometime I want you to look under your bed, get all your clothes that are under there.
Okay. I swear Deanna's turning him into a bitch. No. But no. Like the character development's like, sorry, hold on. I'm losing my train of thought. Funny. Right. The characters develop and like over time become closer to one another. Like Albert and Charles gradually start warming up to James. Like, they had already been a unit before. They had already been grouped together as two characters before, episode 4 had even happened. But, like, they gradually warm up to James, and, they just kind of have, like, this awkward friendship with one another. But, it works out, and they genuinely care for one another. And I thought, I genuinely like how that all worked. So, yeah. That's the Henry's Tunnel set. Who is your favorite character in Satirical Tales? Henry, I think. I don't know. I like James. Like, if I was there's no real way to pick. Like, it's like Edward, Henry, and James, really. Was that pun intentional? Yes. No, it wasn't. But, I don't know, there's, I like Henry because he's quite relatable, in my opinion. Yeah, the cold, cynical bastard is ironically the most relatable one in the series. But James, just because, he was part of, the episode that characters had the most development in. And Edward is just because, he's not a dick. He's like a kind person surrounded by dicks. There is no Thomas the Tank anime. What are you talking about? Another behind the scenes picture of Henry's Tunnel. That was a behind the scenes shot from episode 1.
Thanks.
I don't know, whatever. This was the set that you see at the in the middle of a.
So here's the
We'll just let it play.
mainline, or the mainland set, and its glory. You can honestly see that it's quite trashy. Honestly, it's very, very short. There isn't a lot of detailing, and that's because you didn't really see it in the episode because the camera, for the most part, was always down here. If not, then it was right here.
zoomed in on that engine. And
Yeah.
Hello.
I didn't really
What?
do a lot of.
I'm
Why?
sorry. We're
What?
still on the hunt for the sweatshirt.
I don't
You
have
said,
it.
No, I know you said. Did you have you seen it though?
No, last time I saw it was when Logan wore it at the party.
Okay.
Mine is, I don't wear mine because it's too tight.
Really?
Yeah, it's tight around my neck.
Oh, just don't zip it all the way.
It's tight. It's also just tight around my whole body.
Okay. Let's know if you see it.
All right.
Ballast for that. All you needed was some ballast.
You guys can keep telling me to recheck the comments, but like my phone hasn't buzzed, so the comment hasn't come through yet. When my phone buzzes, I'll know the comment has come through, but like it hasn't. So.
Here, so when the camera was here, you can see the ballast.
But yeah,
and
no,
some foliage right here.
That's all that and whatnot. This was actually how I shot the interior shot of Knapford here. It was just like I had a small desk lamp. Did the stream end?
I don't think so.
Somebody just said, "What the fuck just happened?" Everything good? Alright, I'm just gonna keep going. You know, it was literally just like camera is shoved into this corner here. Recording. That's all it is. That's just the way it's filmed. This is the James crash behind the scenes. I don't have the footage for episode 1, but the way I did the crash scene was I literally dug ballast out of the way so James would roll along the ballast and enter a point where the ballast is higher than the ground and just naturally would tip over. I didn't like pull a string over, he just naturally tipped over there. This is just the Knapford Junction behind the scenes, you know, hadn't even been ballasted yet. I didn't actually point this out in episode 1. I can run on back to that now, I suppose.
Why not? Because I get to pull all the good strings. Thomas is just a lesser version.
Henry is the main goods engine on the rail.
Metal.
That is a Lego George Carlin figure. On the left there. He's seen again in episode 4 as Gordon's driver, actually. I don't remember if like I had plans on having him do shit.
I'm fine. The red stuff is just paint. It's just paint, right? It's just paint. It looked great on you, James. It's even red too.
Yeah, listen, Albert,
Wow.
that's...
Yeah, that's him right there. That's a better picture of him. Yeah. Anyways. That's Knapford. That was Knapford behind the scenes when I was first filming episode 1. Let me check the chat. Give me a moment. Fuck. I feel like everyone's left the stream now. Oh no, there's... Wait, hold on. How many viewers? Still 9. Cool, okay. Yeah, that's Knapford again. More Knapford. That was before it was ballasted and before I had the track over there on the left. So yeah. Mainland set. As I said, that's the shot where Henry and Gordon were gonna pass one another, but it was just cut. This is Wellsworth. Wellsworth appeared... Sorry, not Wellsworth. This is Crosby, I guess? I mean, it was supposed to be Wellsworth. But, like, while I was filming, I was like, this is just Wellsworth. But it doesn't really make sense for it to be Wellsworth. I'll explain it a little bit later, because Wellsworth was supposed to be bigger in the later series, because... I'll show it later, but... This is basically Crosby, but I just called it Wellsworth. So yeah. No other pictures for the rest of that. There's some videos here. I don't know what these are. So, okay. I don't actually know what these are. I lost my fidget spinner piece. Anyways, yeah, I think this was like, yeah, showing off the set. Basically. And I guess I did a cleanup time lapse like I did for Marin. So you know, pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, I guess on to episode 2 behind the scenes shit. I'm gonna show this. This is this is the Ellsbridge Viaduct, right? As it's seen in the episode. I actually, I thought the set was quite nice. But, when I lift it up and you actually look at what the actual set is, you can see just literally how bare bones it is. I tried to do it more than once because I tried to make it look all fancy and shit. But, like, that's actually what the set looks like. It's nothing really that cool. It's just some stuff on, just some houses on, fucking boxes. Just some rails. That's all it is, I suppose. Track ends over there. You can see it. Just goes over there so I can have Thomas fuck off. Bus yard. This is the bus yard that was... Oh, right. I forgot how fucking disgustingly low quality some of these are. This is the behind the scenes of the bus yard. Technically a continuation off of the other set that you saw earlier. So, there was that. This one's just called countryroads.jpg because this was the road set I used for episode 2, obviously. Destroyed Birdie, a slightly more destroyed Birdie. This was more of the Ellsbridge Viaduct before, like, it had all the grass on it, so you can kind of see how I got the core grass laid out. This was old Farquhar. This was old Farquhar used to look like. Not really anything special, I guess. This is what new Farquhar looked like. Farquhar had never appeared long. What was the saddest thing about ending Satirical Tales? Not being able to actually fucking... Like, having to restart. Having to start again. Because... I mean... If I could... I would just continue Satirical Tales as it was. But, like... It's at a point where, like... I'm not even motivated to film live action anymore. Like... I love doing it, but, like, it's not... It takes up way too much time, and with how long it was taking to get an episode out, like, literally, like, months to get an episode out, no. There's no fucking way that I would be able to keep doing that. I'm not going to be able to live in this house forever. I have to move eventually. Like, I can't... Like, I'm going to have to be able to move around, and this set table can't stay with me the whole time. Like, I, at one point, have to say goodbye to the whole collection. I would keep a couple things, like, probably, like, Marklin or Thomas and stuff. But, like, literally everything else, at one point, is gonna have to go. Hold on, me and Riley are gonna hop on Skype here. Okay. Hello, Riley.
Hi.
Okay, but yeah, no, definitely the saddest thing would have to be saying, like, having to start over. But, like, on another hand, it's definitely gonna help me make the series way better than it would have ever been. So, yeah. Phil Nye? Oh, my fuck. Just go away. This is the behind the scenes set that was never used, not behind the scenes. There's a behind the scenes shot that was never used in episode 2. Sorry, hold on, I'm having a stroke. This was a shot that was never used in episode 2. That I, just filmed. It was the windmill set. Just literally just Thomas going across the causeway thing. was never used in the episode. So, you know, deleted scene. Elsbridge was actually really an interesting set to make. There's pictures of it before it was complete somewhere. Hold on. Or maybe not. I thought there was pictures of it, like, not even complete yet. Oh, I don't think I saved those. Oh, whatever. But, you know, that was just what Elsbridge was. You know, it wasn't an amazing set, but, you know, I thought it was alright. So, yeah, next. Just another picture of Elsbridge. This was, this set right here is just, I just call it Road by Rail, too. Because that's all it is. It's just the second Road by Rail set. The rails followed along the road in the, episode. And the way I did it was literally just, like, a bunch of grass built up against some bricks. If I go back, you'll see the bricks. Will you show bloopers if you have them? Yeah, I'll go through the bloopers again, I guess. But, you know, there's all this shit here. You know, that's literally just the same set, but not, you know, none of those bricks have been put up to put the, you know, the lichen on. This was Tidmouth before it was actually finished. Because Tidmouth was made literally just for this episode. Or it was just, like, redesigned for this episode. Because I wanted to have a better Tidmouth set, because the original just didn't feel satisfying, I guess. I thought it was really kind of shit, honestly. But yeah. That's another Road by Rail set. Yeah, those are, you know, the same thing and whatnot. That's a picture I've actually never fucking remember. I never remember taking. But that was, when I was filming for, the signal scene where Thomas and the narrator are just arguing. And obviously Winwell behind the scenes. So yeah. So what about the shorts? There's no behind the scenes of the shorts that really exist anywhere. Because I never took the time to hit print screen. I could show you, like, the footage that I had recorded, but, like, not right now. But, you know. Episode 3. This was, you know, there was the Christmas promo that was made, where it was just all the engines, you know, covered in snow at daytime. Another behind the scenes picture where the engines are all, you know, doing their gifts. Let's imagine having such a small dick. That was Knapford, being, like, snowied, I guess. You know, I literally just took cotton balls, ripped them up, and just placed them along the rails. And it just took so fucking long to do the whole thing. That's a snowy Markland. I don't remember if that was a shot that was going to be in the episode or not. Snowy sheds. I guess that's really all there is for the Christmas special. Episode 4 is an interesting story. A lot of shit happened in episode 4, and a lot of shit was cut from episode 4. I'm not going to explain it too in depth, other than, these engines existed. They were never finished. They were never, you know, like, actually, no, nothing was ever written for them. A couple things were written, but it was never anything big. I wrote a couple scenes between them, but just ultimately never actually finished. So, yeah. I still have the bits and pieces left of them, but, you know, whatever. No, what's going to happen with the shorts? Are you going to use the TV series models or what? The shorts will just probably stay as what they are. Railway series models and trains. They'll just be shorter than the average episode. Here's Abandoned Marin. Those are the branch line coaches. They were actually made in episode 1. Not an episode. They were made just for the series. They weren't made for episode 4, but, you know, they weren't ever brought to attention until episode 4. So, I actually want to talk about the interiors. In the series, there's a lot of, like, interior sets that were designed specially for the series. Because, like, the thing is, I use Lego characters, right? And I can't just, like, rip a fucking image off the internet or something. I have to genuinely, like, make a set or something. So what I did is I made, like, an interior for a coach set, and that's what this is. You know, those are the walls and the windows, you know, that are seen in, you know, earlier in the episode, like, you know, like right here and whatnot. So, you know, That's cool. The cab interior was definitely one of my favorite things to make, because it was just really cute, really cramped though, a lot more cramped than I think people thought. There's a picture of it somewhere showing the full scale of everything, but like in all reality, it is incredibly cluttered, incredibly claustrophobic.
I chose you.
Thanks. Go between the pipes. Move now.
For shots like this, it was literally the same set. The way the not live action, the way these shots were filmed is that I took this, like I literally took an image of just like, hold on, I'll see if I can actually go find it real quick. Give me a moment. Should be able to find it. This is exactly how they were filmed. They were filmed like this on a completely just literally just the ground backdrop or whatever. And I went through and I masked out every single background thing and zoomed in and cropped it. That's exactly how I did it. Shots like this, same thing. Like I would just kind of awkwardly hold them there and hope for the best. And that's literally all it was. It was just, zoomed in and cropped and everything, and that's really just how I did every single cab interior shot. I don't know if I have the footage of how I did the shots, or how I did the moving backdrops. I should. Yeah, that's how I did it. I literally would record a moving background. Like, I set up, like, a background. Like, I set up, like, just some trees and shit. Put the camera... And that's just how I do the background shots. I mask out the background, and I just use a moving video of the background. So, yeah. Sorry. Not much else to really talk about, I guess. Yeah, that's the proper cab interior. I had one for the conference room. That was all this was. There was at one point, I guess Noah Williams, that's who this is, was going to confront the Fat Controller. But I don't remember ever writing that or not. But, it's been a while. Hey guys, I just got my Earl Thomas lot that I ordered for Christmas. Good, cool. Originally at one point, this face was supposed to be used, but just was never used. It was supposed to be used during the part where James is going up the hill, and it was supposed to just be like actually just masked on. Not masked, maybe masked. Sure, tracked, rotoscope. I don't know how the fuck it works. But just basically put on there, huh?
As he's moving.
I'm proud of you, Riley. That's the word. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Keyframed. It was supposed to be just like individual frames were gonna be used to keep it on there. This was the shot where it's like that curve before Gordon's Hill. That's all that is. I have like these really broad curves that I bought online to make the nice curve as you go up. There was another one. There was this one right here. This is the shot, the crest as I call it. So yep, cab interior, mainline set. Marin. You can see the switch over here, where it goes off into the abandoned area. No, whole set isn't really that interesting, but yeah. We've already seen the time-lapse. Non-ballasted Marin. Nowhere stretch. Originally, episode 4 was, I guess, filmed in really shit lighting, and this is what it looked like. So, yeah. That's how I did the popsicle stick thing. with the entrance on popsicle sticks. I literally just set up 2 lights, put them nice and close up to the little ceramic plate things. Like, those are literally just coasters, basically. And just took pictures using my iPhone. That was it. There's the unused Thomas shot. There's the work set. You know. And that's all there is for episode 4, apart from one other thing. Oh, wait, no, I already showed them. Never mind. Episode 5. Episode 5 is arguably, you know, a bit more interesting because this is stuff that, like, no one's seen yet. This is the fine dining thing. Fine dining, that's what I called it, because it's literally just, like, food, but it's just the book. This was the Topham when he's, like, thinking, and I just looked at it, and I was really tempted to do, like, a hit or miss joke with it, but I just never fucking did. Retaining walls were actually made for the episode, for a set that ultimately, never got to show up in the episode. You know, there's, you know, the whole thing. This was, a shot where it was supposed to pan across, a group of angry passengers, trying to break in, because, like, this is when the engines were on strike, and they were like, we're going to fucking slaughter you. So yeah. There was an exterior set that never, got used, where it was, like, literally Topham dives out of his fucking office. Like, just straight up jumps out the fucking window. But, you know, never even edited it. I filmed it, but it was never edited. This is actually a bit of an interesting one. I made another song for for the episode. Here's the basic, the core premise of episode 5. Basically, Edward was, original plot. Engines go on strike, passengers freak their shit, and, you know, the Fat Controller, like, literally punishes the engines and is like, you know, well, this is what kind of people you're gonna be. Fuck you, I don't have to deal with you. And says, you know what, you're locked up in the sheds until further notice. Their whole strike plan failed, and, yeah. But basically, he got Edward to pull the train. There was a song where Edward is steaming out of Knapford, just like brutally, just like trying his damnedest to move. And there was a song made for it just called Triumph, and this is all it was. That was the whole song. And lastly, basically Edward was going to steam into Vickerstown. This was the Vickerstown set that was never used. You know, this was the whole thing. You know, just never really anything special ever happened with it. I did film on this set, but, you know, never actually did anything with it. You can see all the retaining walls. I think I could probably go find the footage for the episode. You know, that's the last there is for episode 5. Episode 6, the premise of episode 6, this is like spoilery stuff a little, kind of. Episode 6, Percy is brought to the island to basically help with the workload. And Thomas is ultimately, you know, I keep saying ultimately, Jesus Christ. Thomas is, like, brought out of the works. Like, he's fully repaired, and the Fat Controller gives him a second chance. And Thomas proves himself. He proves himself to be, you know, a really useful engine and whatnot. In episode 6, Percy is brought to the island. No, sorry. A mysterious man loans Percy to the island. No one knows who he is. And no character on the entire island knows who he is. I mean, some people do, but, like, they're not familiar with him. Like, they've seen him around, but, like, it's not like they know him. They loan him a tank engine, a mix between a Trojan and a 1361. Both GWR, sorry. But, like, I actually had lines written. I had lines, like, recorded and everything. And, like, the person who voiced him was Mainland Studios, the mysterious man. But, like, you know, the episode never was finished to that point because it was literally the last scene of the episode. Basically the Lone Engine, Percy comes to the island, and there's like a, Thomas teaches Percy, and it's like a Tobias and the half pariah thing, where Percy is way better at what he does than anyone thought he would. He's really strong, really powerful, really independent too, but just like shy and unsure of what he's doing. But this set was made for the series, and if you look at it, you might recognize it as the same set from episode 5, where Thomas is, in the yards and everything just fucking gets destroyed. Didn't need to open paint. Yeah, so, you got the, just basically a shunting yard. Thomas and Percy were supposed to shunt some stuff and, be surprised by his sheer power and whatnot, and yada yada. Donald and Douglas were not supposed to be in the episode. I just like putting Donald and Douglas in the same shed. It's really satisfying. Basically at one point Percy was gonna have an accident and just fall off the fucking tracks. This is probably gonna change.
I was eventually going to voice Percy.
Oh yeah, like we Percy was such a difficult character to find a voice for. There were so many different voices that he went through. At one point, I was going to voice him. At one point, Logan was going to voice him. At one point, one of Logan's friends was going to voice him. And then I was like, hey, Riley, you should try to voice Percy. And then, like, it never went anywhere. I can reveal who it is now. The person who voices Percy in Satirical Tales of STONWR is going to be Mei. If you guys know the person who made Trains with Faces, they literally just, like... They also are the person who did, like, Thomas and the Meme-Jick Railroad. Not exactly. I don't think he wants to be remembered for that, but, like, he voices Percy in this series, and he's pretty damn good at what he does. So, yeah. This is actually the real Wellsworth. This is the real Wellsworth set. I know I said that the other set was Wellsworth, but it's not. This is Wellsworth. The other one was Crosby. That's what I meant. So, like, this is, like, a sizable, like, actual big-ass yard. Lots of movement. Lots of shit that can go on here, really. And, going to the right is where Gordon's Hill is. Percy is a Trojan tank with a bunker. Yeah. No, Percy... In my series, Percy is a hybrid. Percy's a hybrid between a Trojan and a 1361. Wheelbase of a Trojan, but body of a 1361. But, basically the plot of episode 6 was Percy comes to the railway, Thomas and Percy end up pulling a train, Thomas runs out of water, they go to Tidmouth, they go to Wellsworth, and there's no water there in the water tower, so Thomas has to be, put in a siding. Percy ends up pulling the train on his own. Percy runs out of coal on Gordon's Hill, and becomes a runaway, flies down the hill, and crashes. But yeah, so that's how this whole scene worked. There's, like, a whole part where, like, hold on. How many eps were you originally planning on making / releasing before you knew about the COPPA stuff? Originally, season 1 was going to be 13 episodes. I'll try to remember the episode names the best I can. I'm not going to tell you the last, the couple of last episodes. Episode 1, obviously, is prologue, guards and buses, then it's, a satirical Christmas. Red Engine's Triumph. At one point, it was called, Tale of a Red Engine was at one point called a Red Engine's Triumph. I still don't like that name. I'll try to find something better for, the revamp, but, Episode 5 was Strike. Episode 6 was Percy. Episode 7 was Conflict Resolution. Episode 8 was, I believe episode 8 was going to be called What a Quaint Engine. Episode 9 was going to be called Accidents. Episode 10 was going to be called, I think Times Are Changing. Episode 11, fuck. I don't remember what episode 11 was called. I remember what 12 and 13 are called. 13 was called Epilogue. I cannot tell you 12. But So that's all of that. General series stuff is just everything else that ever happened. Can I look at this? Yes, I can. These were some track plans that I made back in high school. Back in high school, as if I'm out of high school. In freshman year, you know, just showing off how I planned on doing the sets. These were the houses that I used in the back of the sets for Knapford. This was another face test or a face edit test where, you know, it's like, you know, Thomas, who are you talking to? That's what that line is. There's the tracking shot again. That's another, you know, Thomas being a grumpy fuck. Originally, it was supposed to be shot like a mix, kind of like what Turtles and Thomas did, where he would shoot outside for some scenes, but shoot inside for others. So, you know, there was a couple of shots that were shot outside. There's like footage of it somewhere, like right here. Somewhere, as if it doesn't exist. Ironically, while I was filming this, a train was going by my house. So, you know. There's that. Percy's face.
I was about to remove the face from this Percy, and I was like, I really hope I don't damage the smoke box. So I slid the knife, it popped in, and I just popped it right off, and that was the most satisfying thing I'd ever done in my goddamn life.
People might say I'm a fucking sinner for doing that. The reason I did that was because I despise the Percy face that came with the wooden rally models. So I replaced it with a take and play face that I accidentally cut with a knife, so the right eye has a little cut through it. And it's really shittily fixed. There might be a picture of it somewhere. Picture of the take and play first. No, there is not. Tidmouth behind the scenes. This was the old Tidmouth. This is the one you see in the opening. Not used, though. That right there is basically everything that was purchased for Satirical Tales. Everything you see here is stuff that was bought and used in Satirical Tales. We have from the start a 2002 Thomas, 2002 Edward, Henry, Jane, Annie and Clarabelle made 4 branch line coaches, a Serco Express coach, 3 dairy wagons that I painted gray, a Sodor fuel tanker, 2 tar tankers, 2 boxcars, 2 green boxcars, 2 yellow boxcars, a giggling troublesome truck, a spiteful brake van. Those are connector pieces, connector pins. Like they are male connectors that are just very tiny. Signals. That's a bunch of houses right there. Some wooden railway stuff. Ellsbridge. Some more wooden houses. Some off-brand shit over there. A tunnel. And that thing that's used in the opening. You know, the waterfall piece. Back over here, some of the fences that I painted. Those are lining strips right there. Those are right there. Platforms, cheers to, what is his name? The Red Ginty? Yeah, I think. For pointing out that those existed. I had been looking for modular station platform pieces for ages, and he was like, hey, these exist. And I was like, okay, thank you. This is actually something my grandmother bought me. You know, cheers to her. I definitely did use it a lot. Same with this little shack behind it and the water tower. The signal box, cool. That's some trees, telegraph poles. I think there's other shit on there. Grass, tripod, you know, whatever. No one really cares. And then everything else I think is just tracking shots. Is there anything else? This is the only behind the scenes thing there is for the shorts. Just this. When I come to... Oh, hey. Hi, Mainland Studios. When I come to the Greenberg train show next year, can I touch your hair? It might be gone by then. I don't plan on keeping this afro forever. I definitely plan on getting rid of it once I'm out of high school. And, like, I'm a senior now. So... Unfortunately...
You said at one point that the only reason you kept it was consistency in the series.
Yeah.
But now there isn't going to be
live action shots anymore. Yeah. Listen, Mainland, if I still have it, by all means. If I don't, then I guess it's not gonna be anything interesting. What? No. Yeah. Sorry, I'm crying. Yeah. Sorry. Anyways, the thing is about about Marklin is that he's literally just Rosie. literally just rosy, but with, like sanded down, like cut off side tanks, and then just painted black. Hold on, I have a picture of Markland before I even had the running boards. Yeah, there you go. So that's that. I added a running board. Will you ever do a collection video? No. No, I have way too much shit for a collection video. Red buffer beam. You know, there's that. Added some buffers. He still didn't have a face at this point, so I bought a Herman model. Not a Herman model, sorry. A Big City Engine model. And I cut off the face. And, you know, I painted it. You know? Painted it not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. And even then, when I was done, I just fucking... What does Cobb smell like in person?
What?
Something Mainland Studios asked. He just said, what does Cobb smell like in person? He smells like a human, I guess. What do you want me to say, man? Yeah. And, you know, eventually Markland was, you know, finished. He had, a printed out piece of paper for his cab design. Which was, you know, pretty shit because it always it fell off during filming multiple times. Oh yeah, I forgot. Originally, there was like this knockoff wooden train that existed that I was, you know, gonna use for Markland. I painted its wheels red and everything. And, you know, when I was done, I realized, hey, this is kind of fucking pointless. And I have a Rosie model that, you know, would work thousands of times better. So I just, you know, this thing still exists. You even see it in the, you know, on the mainland set. Right there. That's it right there with the red wheels and everything. So yeah, we're almost done with the stream, by the way. So, yeah, are you going to show the bloopers? Yeah. You asked that earlier. Don't worry, I will. But, you know, I'm gonna finish it. There's not a lot of bloopers. If Cobb made 3 Pokemon pulls and gave one to me and one to you, what would be the circumference of the sun? It'd be a little bit bigger because my fury would be so intense. No. 50,000 Earths? As Obama told me. 3. I swear, the longer I stream, the more the viewers just melt. Okay. We're almost done. We're not here much longer. The only thing left is to show footage that was, you know, that is likely never to be seen ever again. What is my nugs.mp3?
You know what? This is why all of your brothers are dead, Gordon.
Out of context. Truly the most out of context line. You wanna know what it was, Riley?
What?
You know what, Gordon? This is why all of your brothers are dead. I forgot about that video. Yeah. That's a reference to a Snapcube real-time fan dub. Yeah?
Why must we higher ups stunt like lesser beings? My work done anyway. I embarrassingly tried to run tender first, only to fail miserably on the switch. Awful. Whatever will we do? Yes, a joke, if you will.
Oh, God.
Overworked my ass. Anyways, the 3 oh-so higher beat steward wasn't involved for Gordon. The guard walked up alongside.
Hey, Harry. Told you
It's a
returned.
bit of trouble, sir. There are no engines to pull the trains.
It wears me out over time. Though, if it's for the sake of this railway, I will keep going. Sir, I know how you feel about the whole ordeal, but you've only got me and one other cheeky little tank engine.
Yeah, there was supposed to be an intimate moment. Intimate? Fuck it, whatever. Close moment between the Fat Controller and Edward, where like the two have like a heart-to-heart conversation, just talking. But yeah. No, there is footage that does exist as seen here. You know, that like will never be seen by the public eye. It will be. I'm showing you it right now. It was literally just like a huge like mess of a yard, and it was like Edward's like, how the fuck do you even let it get this bad? And at one point, Gordon pulls into Knapford with literally the shittiest express train ever. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. Yeah, it's a Knapford Express coach, 2 branch line coaches, a brake van, and a Pullman. That's backwards. That's what Gordon ends up pulling into the station because he doesn't know how to shunt his own trains. There's other shit too. Like I could probably there's an accident at one point that Gordon has. He goes to reverse. Like he tries to reverse and he hits a switch that's set against him and it just derails him. It just derails him right off the rails, and James comes in, you know, says some shit about him. You know, nothing really especially interesting, I suppose. But you know, that's literally everything there is for episode 5. There's not much else to it. There's the live action scenes that were never, you know, that never had the you know, the other end. It was filmed.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Close it. Yeah, exactly. There we go. It's just, I say, delicious plot developments. I have the script up on my phone. You don't have any on yours. I think it's an eerie guy in an eerie place with an eerie voice offering an eerie truth for an eerie reason. Oh, well, you're just gonna be able to do that line when it's focused purely on you. Yeah. Delicious plot developments.
Yeah, so, yeah. Shit that was never finished, obviously. I do have some mainline shots that maybe you guys would be interested in. Just like... Yeah, listen to music when I film. What a twist. You know. Edward pulling the express. You know, that's all that was. The works because, you know, Thomas and Edward have their little conversation there. Oh, I forgot. I did actually at one point film the shot where the Fat Controller jumps out the window. I don't remember if it looks good or not, though. Yeah, it looked like that. That's literally what it looked like. And, like, there was gonna be a glass shattering noise. Yeah, no. Hey, nerds. Hey. Vickerstown told you there was recorded stuff for Vickerstown. There was a shot that I was so proud of. It was this shot right here. It was a shot where you literally, like it shows the clock. Like, what it does is it's here. It very slowly pans up while focusing on the clock. Like, it's focused on the clock, right? Showing that the time is, I believe, like, 3:45. No, not 45. Like, 3:50 or 2:50. It comes up, pans out, and then, like, Edward rolls in. Like, that's the shot. That's the shot right there. Yeah, I mean, I think I did know that. You know, that was the shot. It was filmed backwards just for easier. You know, just for sake of making things easier. You know, like, Edward pulls in, and that's the shot. And then it fades to show the clock. You know, yeah, it was a good shot, but ultimately just never never would appear. Episode 6 filmed. You know, there was shit filmed for it. Not much, but there was definitely shit filmed for it. You know, Percy. Definitely lots of viewers now, though. You know, Percy reaches this point in the hill and then becomes a runaway. That's exactly what happens, basically. The crash was, like, so weird. Like, Percy just, like, he was flying over some switches. His trucks come off the rails. I don't remember if I ever show how that happens or not. I think it's something like this. Yeah. Yeah, like, they go around this corner. I've been streaming for a while, haven't I? 3.5 hours. You know, this is really like the last. This is really like the end of like the actual series. You know, it's just like this is the last thing. You know, the trucks just came off the rails like that. That's all it was. I'm gonna try to wrap this up soon. I will show you stuff from episode fucking 7 to show you that stuff was indeed filmed. You know, like literally just like the engines all show up at Knapford. The tender engines all show up at Knapford. They're all just like absolute twats. You know, Thomas is like, yeah, fuck you, Henry. He just ends up leaving. There was a lot of shit that was, never. What's going on with that? Okay, yeah. Will never be seen. Said it too many times, but That's the truth, I suppose. There was a whole conflict. There was a whole argument scene at Knapford, or not Knapford, at Tidmouth. Like literally, all the engines, like more or less, ends to hit Thomas. Let's see if I can have it filmed. No, I think that was it. Oh, yeah, and very intentionally, Marklin was seen in the background. Very intentionally included in the background is Marklin. I guess now all there is left is to show the scripts. So, yeah, but COPPA is a bitch. Shame you gotta kill off a good series, yeah. Yeah, sorry, yeah, I don't have the chat open. I'm focused on, what I'm looking at here. Give me a moment. I'm gonna open up all the scripts so you guys can actually, see the scripts. Alright, it's only this one, yeah. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna leave this off for now. Episode 6. Yeah. So I think I can show this now, right? Episode 4, sure. I'll grab the episode 1, episode 3, and episode 2 short scripts as well. Okay, cool. Hi, brilliant. Okay, yeah, I know. So, here's the episode 1 script. Listen, Logan brings up a book. Logan hushes me, shit like that. It's all there. scripts were really shittily written back then because I didn't know how to write scripts. You know, still looks the same. Season 3 is when things started to kind of change a little. I bolded some of the characters' names so you could tell. But then I went even further with it and changed it to color coding. So, you know, character names are color coded so you can tell, you know, which character is which and whatnot. If the main character, they have their name colored. If it's not, then they have their name just blacked out. Or, you know. Hi. I'm showing off scripts now. There was one for episode 5 as well. So here's episode 5, you know. If you want to pause it to read some of this, you can. I have to be careful of what I show. I have to be careful of what I show. Does it say question mark, question mark, question mark, or does it say... yeah, I can show that. Yeah. That was all that. Then there was the episode 6 script. You know, this all happens. I guess it's not a cardinal sin to show the script, is it? Because there's not like there's any spoilers in it. Edward paused. Things were getting a lot stranger. Perhaps it was all coincidence. Yeah, no, actually. Edward wasn't a fan of puppeteers, but he couldn't help but have a nagging fear that someone else was pulling out the strings.
I even put a note that Logan has to narrate it.
No,
like
you
during...
put a note.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said that I put a note. Yeah. Episode 7 had its whole script as well. Yeah. You should post the scripts on Google Drive or something. I'm not gonna. Just because I don't want people to look into them. You know, like this is, you've literally seen everything that there is. And then episode 8. Episode 8 was when the scripts changed to actually be scripts. Like, instead of just, like, like the character, colon, blah, 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 an asterisk, bolded, this is what happens. Like, I actually, like, wrote proper, like, script format. No, actually, no, I have not yet. So, names and whatnot weren't, names and whatnot were color-coded. I actually had made, track layouts for, like, Wisbeck East and, Upwell. This shit never happened. This is all the Toby stuff. Henrietta does not speak. Episode 7 seems to have been a short one. It's a short one that really just wraps up, like, a main arc. Yeah. I have one other script to show, but I'm not going to show you the words. I'm going to put it in Wingdings. I'm going to edit the whole script to be in Wingdings. But you guys are going to see just what the fuck was happening at one point. Oh, I can't. Can I? I don't think I can. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find it regardless. No, I can't. I'm just gonna say that there was, at one point, a script that was 55 pages long. And it wasn't done. Will Satirical Tales keep, or will STOS keep story elements that were planned for Satirical Tales? Yes. Yes, actually. You're going to notice that a lot of things are going to be extremely similar to Satirical Tales of the Northwestern Railway, and that does even get acknowledged at one point in, you know, in the series. But you know, that's going to happen, I suppose. Hold on. I do have something that you guys might enjoy. There we go. This is what my what the thumbnail is right now, but like a cropped version of it. So, you know. That's really all there is to say about Satirical Tales. There's not really anything else. Riley, do you have anything you want to say?
About what?
Satirical Tales?
Not really, no. What I've said has been, is all I, needed to say.
There's actually one thing we did forget. What? Short 4.
Oh yeah, short 4. It was going to be a short, where Gordon, James, and Henry, were all in the shed during the strike, and they were trying to find ways to entertain themselves. James is being a fucking idiot. Gordon is, he's pessimistic, but I don't know, he's dead set on the strike going on, desperate to tie loose ends to something that's, falling apart, which is the strike, and Henry is just being a cynical bastard as usual. At one point, I remember we had James go, oh, how about we sing a song, and to destroy the time period, because it's in the, like, what, 20s, 30s? He just busts out singing Bohemian Rhapsody at one point, and then that's when everything just falls apart.
I forgot that actually happened at one point. Yeah. James, let's sing a song, Henry. James, I swear to fucking God, how are you this annoying? James, mama! James, shut the fuck up. We're going to get copyright striked. Those aren't the lyrics. We didn't get copyright striked for Under Pressure in the last short, and we literally played the song as it was. One word out of you, and I'll put you under pressure. What does that even insinuate? It insinuates that, and then just, you know, the two are just, you know, just...
It wasn't finished.
Yeah, it was never finished, sadly.
Anyway, I'll be back again.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna end the stream, so...
Alright.
Yeah, I mean...
So I guess this is my goodbye to the people who are on. Goodbye, and to Devin, I'll be right back.
Okie dokie, yeah. There's no abridged series quite like it, but it's a rebooting of the original series with nearly the same name. Sort of. Aren't you gonna show the bloopers? Yes, Jesus Christ. Sorry, yeah, sorry, that's on me. That's on me. That is entirely on me. My apologies. There's not a lot of bloopers. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but there's not a lot of bloopers. But I can show you... I can show you this. This was something that... was something that Logan did in episode 1. Hold on.
I did not hit her. I did not. I did not. I didn't know we were filming the room. Okay.
There was that. There was another time in episode 4 where I tried to say Topham, but I think I said Logan.
And with Topham promising us.
Topham?
Topham.
You said Topham.
It is PH.
Topham.
It's PH. Topham.
Topham? That's a new one.
PH.
Yeah, I know. It's just Topham. There was that when Logan was trying to do some Charles lines that never worked out. There's a couple of improv scenes where like I improv some lines to get into a character. I'll see if I can go find them. Probably wouldn't be too difficult. I got a couple followers. I don't remember when, but I did. Hold on. Warm up. Rather do from 2018 to 2019 or until since. I'll do the 2018, 2017.
Not too much.
Yeah, this was for the top and warm up.
Toast. I do love me some toast. Toast is very nice. Tastes very good. Toast! Give me my toast or I'll beat you across the face. Now, I mean, Topham isn't one for domestic abuse, but maybe he bites me. Toast, yes, we do like the gravel in the voice, but not too much. Perfect amount of gravel. Like you're balancing a set. You don't want the rocks under the track, but you do want them on the sides and even the fucking on the tracks themselves. Never underneath. If they're underneath, the tracks are unbalanced. Yes. My mother.
So, you know, just some dumb improvisation, just while I'm trying to slip into a voice. Then I will do this. There was one for Edward.
Is it over?
Not yet. Somebody asked for the bloopers, and I forgot. I forgot about them. 2018, 2017.
Motherfucking clock, bitch ass motherfucker. Why must you click? I understand you're a clock, but can't I just shut you up? Of course not. Turn off. Fucking hell. Take that clock. I can still hear the ticking. I fear I am losing it all. Oh God, why must the clock tick? Leave me alone. Get it out of my head, get it out!
Yeah, so just dumb shit like that. There's not really much else for bloopers. Cause you know I don't usually there's not usually a lot of bloopers that ever appear in the series, but any bloopers that ever happened were either cut out or just never visually seen. Where is it playing from? Stop. Yeah. So there's not really anything else to say. That's it. That's all of Satirical Tales that exists. There's not really anything else. Yeah, I mean that's it. There's bloopers on the 1 year anniversary, but that's really it. You can just I don't even need to please include James rapping. Will not happen. James will not rap. But that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. What people are still here. It was definitely fun. And hopefully I don't have to do another series or another stream like this. because I would quite frankly rather die than have to go through a whole series for like 4 hours, like looking back on the things that will never happen or never be able to be seen, you know, in a completed sense, I suppose. Who knows though? Maybe I'll finish episode 5, 6, and 7 someday. I really doubt it, but you know, yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I even if it was a little, you know, depressing, you know, I had quite a bit of fun. So thank you for watching. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. I said bye. I wanted to cut off my voice, but it just doesn't work like that.